Where are they? I think they're talking about us. No way.
Come on, Lewis, let's go.
Round one, fight!
What's up, guys? Welcome to Tournament Fights. This is episode 205. We're going to be talking best sci-fi fantasy characters as part of our quest to determine the best geek character of all time. So if you've seen any of our other geek character series, you'll know what we're doing here. And if not, go back and watch them because this is the last one, and we're going to have a championship match next month. But whatever makes the Sweet 16 tonight will go up against things like Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, DC, some other action heroes, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. So we had a bunch of nerd and geek realm characters, and yeah, we're going to determine the best of the best. And yeah, we definitely have a lot of nerds tonight because that ogre guy, I always forget his name, but I call him the ogre from Revenge of the Nerds. He's going to come after us and throw us off a roof or something. But I am your host, Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, or I put Commander because it's partially space themed. You'll see some space characters, but not the ones we've already covered. So if you're thinking, oh, that sci-fi and fantasy character isn't there, it's probably because it was on one of our other tournaments. So that's why. But yeah, but let's go ahead and bring in our crew for tonight. We have my co-host, Austin Pez Howell.
So I met Donald Gibb last year, who plays Ogre in Revenge of the Nerds, that guy in the clip, and
nice.
It was funny because it was at a convention. It was at like a horror convention mostly, but they do other geeky stuff. And he was kind of in character a little bit. Like, he's a nice guy, but he would sometimes lean back and just go, "Oh, look at all these nerds walking around."
Nice.
That's a funny guy. So Ogre's not happy that we're jumping back into the Geek Series, Jordan. So,
yeah, right. But we have a few people joining us tonight. We have Stephen Shepard.
Yeah.
What's up, Stephen?
They were hanging him down by his legs, and his head was. How did he not die from that?
Yeah, right.
he might have, but given the way the Dean just ignores everything the jocks do in that movie, I guess it wouldn't really matter. They'll just say he just had an accident.
Yeah, right.
And I guess I have to change my little name here because I didn't realize this said sci-fi fantasy, so I naturally.
We already did Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah, we made that its own thing. So.
Yeah, that was big enough to do its own thing, so we already did that.
You come back for any of the championship episodes, you can have that.
Yeah. You
can. Oh yeah, no, I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering then, what other big movies.
It's all stuff you guys know. It'll all be stuff you guys know.
It is.
Yeah.
We did have to maybe pull a few extra characters here and there from the same franchises, but you'll see. So yeah. But we also have Zach Shelton with us. What's up, Zach?
Hey, and you could definitely tell that I'm ready for tonight based on my name. So.
Oh, nice. Yep. And then, last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Richard Schwartz. What's up, Richard?
Not much. Everyone else here has fancy names. I just went with Richard because, why not? I'm the only one today. No more Richie for this day. Haha.
Richard, what'd you do? It always reminds you of Tommy Boy.
Huh?
Richard, don't run away from your feelings.
Yeah, your feelings. Yeah.
I'm excited to be here. It's my day off. So, when you guys ask me to come on my day off, I'm always down.
Nice. Sounds good. Yeah. And we're maybe supposed to have one other person. Moose. He didn't say a word to me, just not here, but that things happen. We'll see. Maybe he has a a good excuse for not missing me for 9 days. We'll see what happens, but anyways, we'll get into this thing and we'll see which one's gonna take the cake for the sci-fi fantasy character. So Austin, you want to explain how it's gonna work tonight?
Yeah, so this is the last one, right, Jordan? Before we do the championship, the last one we got to knock off.
It'll be the last
yeah,
one.
So we've already done. We did Star Wars, we did Star Trek, we did Marvel, we did DC, we did. What did we do? We did a Lord of the Rings Harry Potter versus Lord of the Rings bracket.
Some action characters.
Yeah, and we did action. Yeah, we did other kind of action that was not sci-fi or fantasy action, that sort of thing. We've done a whole bunch. We've done a bunch of.
Yeah.
We did that one already. So we got but basically we have a Sweet 16 that came out of each of those essentially. So whatever makes the Sweet 16 tonight, we'll join that big pool of characters, and then it will go into the 3-part series coming up. So that's kind of our goal tonight, is to see which characters make the Sweet 16, and then just see which one prevails in this one and maybe comes out as a favorite going into the championship. So we'll go up and down the ladder. Everybody will get a chance to vote on one or the other. Shout out to Malcolm Lay. Thank you very much, Malcolm, for making the graphics and the bracket and all that. He works very hard behind the scenes for our channel, and we appreciate it. He had to work today, so he just shot me the bracket, and I appreciate that. I glanced at it really quick, but not super hard. So, even I'll be kind of just taking them as they come. But so everybody get a chance to vote. Just try to keep it to roughly 30 seconds or so, and we'll keep it nice and breezy, and we'll see which ones make the championship. So there you go.
Yeah, and there's a plus to only having 5 of us because no ties.
No ties. That's right. All right. So no tie-breaking procedures needed tonight. But here we go. So let's just bring up this bracket and see what we'll start out with. So we will start scrolling over. We're going to start with Blade Runner versus Wizard of Oz, Roy Batty and the Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay.
This is one of those things where Jordan, right off the bat, only on tournament fights.
Right. Yeah, only on tournament fights.
All right. So, all right, we'll start at the bottom with Richard. We'll rotate the order each time. So, Richard, you'll start us out.
See, I'm not too familiar with Blade Runner. However, I don't know. Are you going just on the movies of the? Are you just
on the which characters you're more interested in, which ones you find more fascinating, or even
tournament fights? You can vote for almost.
If you don't know the characters that well, you can just vote on the movie.
Here's the thing:
prefer.
I don't know too much about Blade Runner, but the Wicked Witch of the West, especially when it comes to the movie Wizard of Oz, the Broadway play Wicked, even the James Franco Oz movie, I feel like there's more depth to this character. There's more interest I have to the Wicked Witch of the West. So I'm going to pick the Wicked Witch of the West because there's more just depth character and just reasons for her character to exist.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that kind of fits you tonight, Richard, because you're sitting in the dark. You kind of look like a villain just brooding in the dark there.
It's a cheap camera, laptop, Chromebook, and
okay, nice.
It's still kind of like midday-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as you're able to be here, that's the only thing that really matters. So that's cool. But Zach, what do you say?
So I'm not the hugest fan of Blade Runner, but I'm kind of going to go in a way, kind of with what Richard said in terms of Wicked Witch of the West. I feel like there's more to the character and the backstory and just everything that you see compared to Roy Batty. So that's why I'm going with Wicked Witch of the West.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what you got here?
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think there's actually more depth to Roy than there is to the. Of course, I'm only going by the Wizard of Oz. I've never seen, the play Wicked or anything like that. I don't know if that Broadway show puts any more depth into the Wicked Witch of the West, who is an iconic villain, but also kind of one-dimensional. So I'm going with Roy.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, this one's not as hard for me. Again, I'm not the biggest Blade Runner fan. I give it a chance every 2 years, but I'm still not quite coming around on that movie yet. I like the sequel just a little bit more. But yeah, we've had different versions of that character, the Wicked Witch. Yeah, if you include the Sam Raimi movie, we've actually had, because the things. It includes basically every cinema version of that character. So we'll get another version in Wicked. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I think I'll go the Wicked Witch though. I think the performance is excellent,
Steven,
and I like that
just watch
character a
the
lot.
Wiz. Like, listen to the Wiz music alone. It's worth. You'll get a completely different understanding of that character if you just listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good stuff. But yeah, I think for me, I'm not that familiar either with Roy Batty. Is that Rutger Hauer's character?
Yeah, that's Rutger Hauer.
Yeah. But I gave the original 2 tries. Didn't really like it that much, and I gave the new one 1. I saw it in theaters, and that's it. And I'm like I wasn't that thrilled either. So I'm kind of like, maybe someday if we have to watch it for like a tournament or something like this. I didn't really feel the need for just a character piece to really watch it, but the Wicked Witch of the West is great. I think she's a great character. I wish I knew the actors who played her, because she
Margaret Hamilton.
Yeah, she's really good. For some reason, I was trying to do a Google search on it, and it's making me re-sign into all my accounts because there was an update to my web browser. But yeah, and like she does it really menacing, like especially for like young kids when you see her on screen. Like she's pretty terrifying in the way that she's portrayed. Like, I'll get you and your little dog too. So she's not just going after Dorothy, her dog too. So yeah, I'll vote for the Wicked Witch of the West.
All right. So there we go with that one. Scroll on down, got more Blade Runner, got Deckard, Harrison Ford.
Okay.
And then we got Charlton Heston, George from Planet of the Apes, from the couple movies he was in.
Right.
So we just included like one main Planet of the Apes character, essentially. So there's not a ton of them in here. But we would at least represent the franchise. So, Zach?
Yeah.
I will say I've only seen each movie once, so it's a little harder. I'm gonna go with Rick because I remember there's just so much complexity to him, and I feel like because of that, it makes him a better character.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good. Steven, what do you say?
I haven't seen the original Planet of the Apes or any of that trilogy.
The five movie series.
5. Okay.
Yeah. I got the box set to prove it, Steven.
Yeah.
but to be fair, after the second one where Charlton Heston returns, which is sequel, they go prequel route, and they have like 3 prequels essentially right after that.
Yeah.
So by default, I have to go with Rick, but Rick is a cool character anyway. So, and actually, as good as Harrison Ford was in the original Blade Runner, he's better. He's even better in 2049.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, no, it's funny. I talked about Blade Runner literally a few seconds ago. But one thing I like about Blade Runner is I like the Deckard character. Like, I like Harrison Ford's performance, and the debate over whether or not he's a replicant. And I liked him kind of with Steven, like a little more in 2049, because I just even like that movie a little bit better. So in this case, I'll actually go Deckard. But Charlton Heston gives a good performance in the original Planet of the Apes, and he's fun to watch. But he's just the one smart human amongst all the dumb humans. So that's fine. But I'll go with Deckard.
Yeah. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape. For as much as like I don't love monkeys when that have human traits and all that stuff, I do like it when it kind of like crosses over into fantasy though, because I'm more of a fantasy guy. So like when it comes to like the is it Rise of the Planet of the Apes or whatever the first new one is, that it's like they're trying to make it too realistic for me, like this could really happen or something. I'm like that doesn't really strike me, but for like more of a fantasy thing where the apes are these creatures just kind of taking over the planet, they kind of like cross over into like fantasy creatures to me. And and I mean, we did just talk about Blade Runner, like Rick Deckard as Harrison Ford. Yeah, probably definitely the best character. But I think I'll go with the Planet of the Apes and go George. Is it George Taylor or
George Taylor? Yeah. Just got cut off there.
Okay. Yeah, but I'll go Planet of the Apes.
Richard.
Well, I would My button's not working, but
Mhm.
I was
Oh.
gonna go aspect.
You're
About Blade Runner?
you're wonking out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of yeah.
Might have to switch over to my phone. I'm
Oh.
gonna add the eggs because transparent. He like a crewmate in space, home to Earth. Like he doesn't.
Uh-oh. I think he was on his way to voting Planet of the Apes, though, is what he was talking about. So,
Yeah. I think I heard
Yeah.
that one. So
yeah. We'll look out for him when he comes back. But 3-2 for
No worries.
Deckard, though. We'll take this one.
all
All right, and we'll scroll down to Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park,
right. Ooh.
and William Cage. That's Tom Cruise's character from Edge of Tomorrow, which we included. Just two main characters from that one. So,
all right.
yeah, we'll start with Steven on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh yeah, I know. I was.
He's eating. He's eating.
Oh,
I wish I could have gone last for this one.
Right.
Jurassic Park is the better.
Not easy.
Jurassic Park is the better movie, but I think Tom Cruise is great in Edge of Tomorrow. So, and I gotta say, I guess there's always been that Ian versus, what was Sam Neill's character's name?
Grant. Alan Grant.
Yeah.
I've always been on the side
Alan
of Grant, even though I do like Ian a lot. So I'll go with William. Is that Cage or Gage?
I think it's Cage.
It says
Right.
Cage. I don't know if it's Cage or Gage, though. I'd have to fact check that. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it's Tom Cruise from Edge of Tomorrow. This one, I like Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow, and it's a great movie. But I'll probably go with Ian Malcolm here, just because, I like his kind of even just in that first movie. He's the one who brings up all the weird kind of moral issues and the chaos theory and, the butterfly effect and how this could be doing. He brings up a lot of the interesting, questions throughout the movie about what they're doing. And then he continues that, in the sequels and whatnot every time he pops up. And Jeff Goldblum's just really fascinating as a dude and a character. So I'll go with Ian.
Yeah, I got to go with my boy, Dr. Ian Malcolm. There he is, right there. And and like I really do like Edge of Tomorrow. I think that Tom Cruise's character is great, but I just think that for me, like I really like the two different views on science from Alan Grant and then Ian Malcolm. They're both based in science, but Ian Malcolm's kind of more of like theory and like fringe stuff and like what could happen. And then Dr. Malcolm's kind of like what he sees and what's tangible right in front of him kind of thing. So yeah, but so I am going to throw my vote to Ian Malcolm, but I do want to throw up this. I got me another drink tonight, and this one's nothing too special. I think it's just another way of just saying cherry. But if you know me, like for anyone that's not familiar, I do snack reviews. I from time to time have a little show called Snack Hero, but I've been doing it less. This is the popsicle brand of C4, so there's popsicle, and it's just cherry. So I imagine it's just another way to say cherry, but and another way to make more money for the company. But it comes out clear. I like that. There's none of that red 40 or like weird dyes or any of that stuff that like makes kids with ADD and anger issues go crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna try it, and then on my next round, I'll give you my verdict. But yeah, let's go, Ian Malcolm.
All right, Richard.
All right. Well, I haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow, but I've seen Jurassic Park, The Lost Kingdom, The Lost World. Ian Malcolm, like, I think he has, even though I haven't seen Edge of Tomorrow, I figure Ian Malcolm has more depth just because he was a trainer. He had a attachment to Blue and the other dinosaurs.
That's Owen. You're talking about Owen. We're talking about Jeff Goldblum's character. Is Ian.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
sorry,
You're talking about Owen Grady. Well, he's
I
in
have
this
a small
tournament, but
screen.
yeah.
I mean, Ian Malcolm, like even then, like even his character in the original Jurassic Park was far more like. I liked his character as well. Like he was just the analyst, and he always had the funny quips. And I like Jeff Goldblum's character. I like Jeff Goldblum as a character. So I mean, as an actor. So it's going to be Jurassic Park easily.
Yeah. Well,
and that was Jurassic Park. The first one was really the only one I liked anyway. So I got to go with that.
Yeah. I know a lot of people like that, but Zach, what do you say?
And also, if you guys didn't hear me from the last round, it didn't matter. But
Yeah,
I
we got it,
would have
we got
chose
it.
Planet of the Apes.
I got you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So originally, when I saw this matchup, I thought it was going to be harder, and then as I thought about it more, I'm going to go with Ian by a slight margin, just because of the different perspectives that he has when it comes to like the first Jurassic Park movie. And even though it's at the bottom of my list in terms of the Jurassic franchise, I still think he does a really good job in Lost World as well. So I'm going
Yeah, he's a good job as the main, the shifted up to the main character. So yeah, but be Ian Malcolm. All right.
Okay, we'll go with Kyle Reese from the Terminator, who's had multiple incarnations. So in this, we include multiple incarnations. You got a lot of background noise, Richard. I'm going to mute you for a second. But so that includes, Michael Biehn from the original, Jai Courtney from Genesis, and you even got the late great Anton Yelchin from Salvation against the late great, I should also say, Carl Weathers as Dylan from the original Predator. A nice little Terminator versus Predator here. I'm up first, and I mean, Dylan's a lot of fun, and I like Carl Weathers in there. We talked about that. I love that original Predator movie, and one of the more iconic shakes. Despite the Jai Courtney-ness of Kyle Reese from Genesis, I like both the other incarnations a lot. I love Michael Biehn's character in the original Terminator. It's one of the reasons I go back to that movie a lot. I love his performance, and even like Anton Yelchin's take of the younger version of him in Salvation. And I think the character's interesting as the more human hero going up against the threats. So I'll take Kyle Reese.
I think they're both really, really solid movies. I might even like as an overall movie, maybe Predator a little more. But shout out to Carl Weathers. Like, he was a legend in like action movies and this type of thing. But Kyle Reese is just such an awesome character. And I think that like, whether he's the younger version or the older version, or like played by Michael Biehn or even Anton Yelchin, like you said, and also another rest in peace, Anton Yelchin. Like, he's gone too. It's crazy, but I think I got to go Kyle Reese. I think that's just like a really awesome character, and I kind of like him, like in some ways, palling around just a little bit with the Terminator, more so in T2, but I'll go with Kyle. Richard, you got?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of unfair because you've had so many adaptations with Kyle Reese, so many more movies with the Terminator franchise than with Carl Weathers' character. I have to go Kyle Reese, even though I have to not disagree, but like the Kyle Reese character has been diluted multiple, like with the Genesis character. Like, his character has been changed so dramatically, but just the iconicness of Kyle Reese is better than Carl Weathers' character because he was really only in one movie. So Kyle Reese is my pick.
Zach, who you got?
I'm also going to go with Kyle Reese, just for the main fact that I feel like he has a lot more to offer in his different incarnations than Dylan in Predator.
Sounds good. Steven.
So I know Brian Austin Green, I think, played Reese's brother in the Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles. But did they ever actually have Reese himself, Kyle himself, in that show? I can't remember.
I don't know, but we stick to the movie adaptations, but more so than TV.
Yeah, they had Sarah Connor, they had John Connor, and I'll just tell you, spoiler alert, that was the very next show for our TV match coming up that like almost made it, but just missed the cut. So if we do it 64 ever, I'll have the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles in there.
I'll go with Kyle, even though Dylan's a great supporting character, but I think there's more to the Kyle Reese character.
Yeah. All right. So there we go, Kyle Reese. And we'll move down to, we included Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. So Chris Pine's Edgin from that movie. And Peter Provenci, or however you say it, from the Narnia series, from that Narnia trilogy. So Jordan.
Yeah, and I totally forgot to give my verdict on this drink here. Really, really good stuff. C4 has been like one of my go-to. Like any of those ones that make like the pre-workout and then they switch over to energy drinks, like surprisingly has been really good. So, and the other night I reviewed the Hawaiian pineapple, and normally I like pineapple more, but this one's better. So I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It's really good. So yeah, go check it out. But for this one's tough because like Chronicles of Narnia was the first like actual series that I ever read as a kid. I remember that my parents or my grandparents, one of them, got me the whole box set of all the Chronicles of Narnia books, and I read all of them, and I've never been a big D&D fan. I mean, I like Chris Pine for what it is, and the movie was good, but I think I had to go Peter here. I'm just a big Chronicles of Narnia fan, and I think Peter might be the best character in this franchise. So I'll go Peter. Yeah. But Richard, what do you say?
Fuck Chronicles of Narnia. All the siblings were garbage. Dungeons and Dragons is great. I'm going with Chris Pine.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, no worries. Zach, what do you got?
So I've only seen The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, I believe, once or twice, and the only two siblings that I remember are the younger two because they were given a lot more to do in that movie. Dungeons and Dragons was actually the first of my honorable mentions from last year. And I actually think that Chris Pine and his character actually have a pivotal role amongst the group, but also in the story as well. So I'm going to go with Darvis.
So the older two siblings were Peter and Susan. The youngest was Lucy. I don't remember who the youngest brother was.
I think it's Edmund.
Edmund. There you go.
Yeah. Yep. Steven, you got.
I only actually remember the older two, the brother and sister. So I mean, I kind of remember the younger sister a little bit, but I just thought the older siblings were more interesting, especially Lion, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was fine, but I'm actually a big fan of Prince Caspian, and I think they had more to do in that movie. I think so, and I haven't seen the Dungeons and Dragons movie, so I'll go with Peter.
Yeah, Austin.
I don't remember who Peter is or what his character is about because I saw those movies once and I was half paying attention and I don't remember any of them. As opposed to Chris Pine, from Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, I'm not really a Dungeons and Dragons fan, but that movie was really enjoyable and he made that character a lot of fun, a little bit of self-aware, kind of meta, and it was a good time. So I'll go with Darvis.
Yeah, the Narnia stuff. Well, actually, both of these are like, I mean. And speaking for like a lot of franchises here, but both these are for really like certain niche audiences. I feel like so these are like a really like two.
I'm saying
audiences.
Peter, Susan, and Edmund were the whiniest bunch of siblings I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, there's aspects of Narnia that could have done better, but I think they did all right.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm saying just the character, like, ugh.
So we got E.T. from E.T., and we got the character that Richard was talking about earlier when he was talking about Malcolm. That's Owen Grady from the Jurassic World movies. Chris Pratt.
My bad.
So there you go, Richard. But you can say what you said. We're starting to say about him, the other one in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. It's E.T., man. I mean, E.T. Phone Home. I got to go with him. I like Chris. I liked. His performances in Jurassic Park, but E.T.
Yeah, right. Yep. Zach, what do you say?
So this is going to come as a shock to people. I actually think E.T. is very overrated. Yeah, I've never been a fan of that movie. But when it comes to Owen Grady, actually, I think it was last year I had to debate, and he was my choice for a Jurassic Park question. And I just feel like his character just offers a lot of different like layers in terms of just what he brings to the franchise with the action, but also with the togetherness with the Raptors and that connection that he has. So I'm going to go with Owen.
Yeah. Steven, what do you say?
I am trying to remember the actor's name. Chris what?
Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Pratt. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I think Chris Pratt is more of an interesting actor when he's part of an ensemble than he is when he's a lead. But that being said, I thought he was all right as Owen, and I thought E.T. was okay, but I gotta agree somewhat with Zach that it's kind of over. I remember rewatching E.T. for Steven Spielberg rankum, and I remember thinking that E.T. doesn't hold up as well for me. It's not bad by any means. It's just it's definitely not top tier Spielberg for me, and so I'll definitely go with Owen.
Yeah. Austin, what do you say?
Yeah, this one's closer than you might think because, yeah, like E.T. is a great movie, and like and the construction of it, the actual character of E.T. I feel like is pretty one note. It's like he just misses his family and wants to go home, and there's not much else to it because he doesn't really have a lot of dialogue. So but the one thing I've liked about the Jurassic World movies, even the ones I haven't been a huge fan of, is Chris Pratt's character of Owen. I think he's really carries those movies well, and I think he's pretty great. So I'm actually go Owen here.
Yeah. I think it's kind of interesting for me because like E.T. is a great movie, and it actually has my favorite score of all time for any movie, period. Like, I love the E.T. score. I think it's like beautiful. And like, this is the battle of like two Universal Studios rides. I got a ride for each one of these in Florida. And
To be fair, that has nothing to do with Chris Pratt's character. That Jurassic Park was for the first one.
Yeah, right. I was just like pointing it out, but they do have the Velocicoaster, which actually does like incorporate some of that stuff in Florida. So, but yeah, like E.T., yeah, he is kind of a one-note character. Yeah, you're just like, I mean, he can light his finger up and like communicate somehow with it, or I don't know, but
it's the emotion.
Yeah, and he can make things fly and hover, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, like I really like Chris Pratt's character just because like you kind of take like characters you had in some of the other Jurassic Park movies, but then you bring in Chris Pratt, and he's more of like an action hero in this one, where I feel like there may be action elements to other Jurassic Park movies, but I don't really consider anyone like an action hero really from the other movies. But Chris Pratt, he's like riding in a pack of velociraptors. He's like jumping off all kinds of things. He's blowing stuff up. He's doing all kinds of stuff that like some cool stuff. So and like it just makes it more interesting and way more interesting than
it's all green screen. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, but even so, like it's still fun. So I'm gonna go with Owen. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it's gonna be Owen.
Yeah.
I had to make it interesting.
Yeah, right.
So we got Katniss from The Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence, and there's Alan Grant from Jurassic Park, Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Oh man, tough. Hey, I didn't make the bracket. Malcolm did, so drop the
Yeah, right.
drop the hate to him because I glanced at it. And there's some ones that's gonna hurt. Steven, to be fair, there's some ones that are gonna hurt me later as an Aliens franchise.
That Malcolm falling.
So,
I love Katniss, but there's no way she's winning this.
I'm gonna argue that it's the character, not the movie.
Yeah,
we'll see. Start with Zach. Right.
So, while I do like the, like we were talking about Ian earlier, I like the perspective of Alan. I just feel like he doesn't do enough in the movies. Like, he's a good character. I just feel like he doesn't do enough. Whereas Katniss, it's just like you are drawn to her in every movie, and I just feel like because she does so much to like grab your attention. So I'm gonna go with Katniss.
Yeah. Steven, what do you say?
This is really, really hard. This is probably going to be the hardest match for me. I think I'm going to have to go with Katniss just because of everything that happens to her, the transformation that her character goes from the first Hunger Games to the last one. And I think it's Jennifer Lawrence's best role. So I'm going to go. As much as I love Alan Grant, and he's probably my favorite character from the Jurassic Park and World franchise, I'm going to go with Katniss.
Yeah, Austin, what do you got?
Yeah, like it's closer than you might think, but yeah, my argument is also kind of the actual character arc and where the characters end up. Alan Grant, at the end of the first movie, you think, oh, maybe he's ready to settle down and have kids, and then he doesn't. In Jurassic Park 3, Laura turns with somebody else with a kid because he didn't make that decision, apparently, and he didn't really change, and he kind of just was still in his ways, which is fine. But, again, it doesn't show a lot of change in the character. He still is that same person. And Katniss actually has a pretty clear arc there and does kind of become a hero and, a leader. So I'll actually go with Katniss as well.
Yeah. I mean, you guys all make some great points because like Alan Grant, he's just like this archaeologist that's put on an island, and then he's just trying to survive and protect people and that's it. He doesn't really and there's not really too much else to the character. I mean, it's, Sam Neill plays him great though. Like, he does a great job. He's a great actor. But I mean, yeah, Katniss really has a real arc from going to being like this poor person struggling to survive, and she has like a love kind of triangle thing, and then she's trying to survive in the Hunger Games, and then she's trying to take down the Capitol, and like really like rises up to like be the leader of a revolution basically. And yeah, I think that's really cool. And yeah, her character really just go through a pretty big journey. So I'll go with Katniss. But Richard, what do you say?
As much as I love the first Jurassic Park movie, Alan Grant is the most one-note, boringest character in the whole Jurassic Park franchise. He does not change at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. I don't know where you guys saying he changed a little bit. No, he didn't change at all. Katniss Everdeen, no matter, like, I love the first Hunger Games. The last two were very so-so, but, like, her character arc, just her defending her family, her becoming, like, what she was in her development, it's Katniss Everdeen, easily, because Alan Grant is just the boringest character ever. As much as I love the first Jurassic Park movie, he was the least interesting part in the first movie, and he was the lead.
Yeah. Well, we got a great actor playing him, so that makes him interesting. That's about it.
Wow, this did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Jeff Goldblum was more interesting than Alan Grant.
I like Alan Grant's my favorite character of that franchise.
All right, so there's Lucy, I guess the sister, and going against Sarah Connor with Linda Hamilton. So Sarah Connor wins, and we'll move on.
Yep.
That's an unfair matchup. That is messed up.
It's all random, but sorry, Sarah Connor's one of the great movie heroes ever.
It's not a good question. To be fair, Lucy was the strongest character in the Chronicles universe, in my opinion.
Susan's the older one, right?
No, she was the second oldest, but she was the obnoxious one.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well,
Sarah Connor, I mean, the oldest of the two girls.
Yes, obviously.
Susan.
It was 2 boys, 2 girls.
All right, so we got the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz and Captain Jack Sparrow. So Captain Jack Sparrow wins, and
Captain Jack Sparrow.
All right, sounds good.
Here's the thing, though, about Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
Jack Sparrow is not a good character, but he needs strong supporting characters to help him.
And also, to be fair, not even with Wicked.
And he does in the first 3, so he has 3 movies.
I'm just saying, like, also, Tin Man, not only the Wizard of Oz, but even in Wicked, there's just not enough information for Tin Man. If there was more info in Tin Man, there would be a better argument.
Sure.
I don't know. I'd watch a solo Jack Sparrow movie where he's just like doing.
That was Pirates of the Caribbean 4. What are you talking about? That was a solo Jack Sparrow movie.
I mean, and I still like that one. So yeah.
Yeah, but I agree.
was
He's
my
better in the
least
first.
favorite.
He's better in the first three. Yeah, when he's got people that like the rest of the characters that we'll see here.
Yeah, that is the least of it of the franchise. But
All
still.
right, so we got Ted Theodore Logan. That's Keanu Reeves from the Bill and Ted movies.
I was going to
And
ask which.
yeah, no, Bill S. Preston Esquire is Alex Winter, and Ted is Keanu Reeves against Mad Max, which we have obviously Mel Gibson and Tom.
Well, here's a
Hardy,
matchup.
So, yeah, so there's a match. All right, Steven. Ted to go first.
The only Mad Max movie I've seen a little bit of The Road Warrior, but the only Mad Max movie I've actually seen, like altogether, is Fury Road. And he was more of a supporting character in his own movie, actually.
He
since
was,
it was
yeah.
really Furiosa who was really the main character in that movie. But you know what? Hot take here, but the first Bill and Ted movie is fine, but I don't think it's as great as a lot of people. I actually liked A Bogus Journey a little bit more.
Same here. I do too.
So I'll go with Mad Max.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, this one's a little closer than you might think too, because I as a comedic character, Keanu's a lot of fun, and it's a comedic character, so there's not a lot of depth to it. It's just he's a goofy character as part of a buddy comedy in a couple of movies, and he's fun. And Mad Max is interesting because he does have a backstory in that first movie. The first movie is kind of before all this dystopian stuff with his family, and his family is killed, and he becomes this loner, and then he doesn't really become like Mad Max per se until the Road Warrior. But even then, he's interesting because he's like the man with no name. He comes in, helps out with the problems, wherever you might go, and he's interesting and his motivations are interesting and whatnot. So I might also go with Mad Max because I really like those movies.
Yeah, I mean, for as much as I love Bill and Ted, like the franchise, like because I've seen all except for Beyond Thunderdome. I haven't seen that one, but I've seen all the rest. And the thing I love about the Mad Max character is like now he's just this character that just kind of comes out of nowhere. He's on his own journey, and they just have these different stories. So it's like the legend of Mad Max, and like it's cool because you could literally have any type of a story with Mad Max because it's just like these different tales and different people telling stories, and I really like that. Like so, there's a lot of ways you could go with the Mad Max franchise. Like so, I think that was a really smart decision from George Miller to kind of like make it go that way, but. Bill and Ted's great, and I love me some Keanu Reeves. I think the character's great. He's just going up against a pretty heavy hitter, in my opinion. So I think I got to go Mad Max. But Richard, what do you say?
I love all three movies of Bill and Ted. I've only seen one Mad Max movie, and that was Furious Road, and I hated that movie.
Really?
With that being said, Ted is only good when Bill is there. If you're talking about individual characters, even though I have not seen the previous Roadhouse movies, the Mad Max movies, he has my vote because he's the lead. He can stand his own with his own movies. Ted does not exist without Bill in any of these three movies of Bill and Ted. So it's Mad Max because Ted, as much as I love Ted, it's the same thing with Bill. If Bill's on here, Bill's going to lose because he's not good without the other. It's Mad Max for my pick.
Yeah, I almost wanted to argue that you put them together in one, as a count it's like one character, but they're not.
But it's not. You're doing separate characters. It's going to be. They're going to automatically lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Zach, I know you're a big fan of Bill and Ted. What do you say?
Yeah. See, I was going to go for Ted more. Like I've seen like the first two Mad Max movies, and I saw Fury Road. I don't remember them much. And especially in like Fury Road, he doesn't really do much, and he's definitely overshadowed by Furiosa. Ted, to me, I just feel like he's put in so many unique situations, and it's just kind of interesting to see how he goes through those situations. And just for me, I found him more entertaining. So I was going to go with Ted.
Well, I mean, Ted does go on a pretty big journey. He goes on a bogus journey. So
I would say if it was Bill and Ted would have won.
but you never see them apart in any of the 3 movies. They're always together.
Yep.
Mad Max takes that one.
Mad Max.
All right.
I didn't want to vote for that either, but like just for technicality.
See, this one hurts me because it's two aliens characters going up against each other. When I saw the bracket, I didn't like this, but it's Bill Paxton's Hudson against Carrie Ann's Newt. So Carrie Ann's.
I don't know. This is kind of easy for me, to be honest.
Okay. Well, it's not easy for me. I got to go first. It's my favorite movie of all time. It's not easy for me because, Newt is great, and I mean, what could be just a screaming kid, she really as a character goes through a lot because she's survived for almost a month without any of her family and has had to kind of learn to be a survivor, and doesn't trust anybody and whatnot, and goes through this journey of accepting Ripley as her mom, and it's an interesting character arc. Hudson, for as annoying as he might come off initially in the machismo, it's part of the character because he's got this fake machismo and then kind of becomes very sort of cowardly for a little while, once things go to shit and, he starts losing his friends. But then he redeems himself by being a badass at the end and protecting everybody. So he has an interesting little arc, too, within that movie. So it's tough. As the Aliens fan, I figured I'd just lay the pretense. Thanks, Rich. I'm going to meet you, Richard. I don't know what you're doing, but Jesus. All right. So I figured I'd at least lay it out since I'm the biggest fan. But I'll go with Newt just slightly, but it hurts me to vote against Bill Paxton, if that makes sense. So, because I love him.
I mean, for me, it's pretty easily Bill Paxton. I mean, he's just like so much fun and like all the quotes, game over, man, we're dead, me, I don't know if you've been keeping score, but we just got our asses handed to us and all that stuff. Like it's just really fun stuff. I think Bill Paxton does an awesome job. And I mean, besides Ripley, he's probably my next favorite character in this franchise. I mean, I really do like the Michael Biehn character. He's great too. I'm not space on the name, but I'll go with Hudson.
All right.
But Richard.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with the Aliens franchise. I haven't remembered the movies. I've seen the first 2 once. Which one was was Bill Hudson the one that had that Spaceballs joke at the end of the movie?
No, what?
At the end of Spaceballs, the movie, the alien came out.
No, that's John Hurt, and he's not in this thing. No.
Okay.
No. That's from the first movie, and he's not in here.
Oh crap! Yeah. I don't remember. I honestly don't remember this. So I'll just go with Newt, just to say because I just picked one.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
So, even though I remember liking it, I've only seen Aliens one time, so I definitely need to revisit it. But from what I do remember, I remember more of Hudson than I do of Newt. So because of that, I'm going to go with Hudson.
Yeah. Steven, where you go?
I used to hate Hudson. He was kind of fingernails on the chalkboard.
I can see that.
Annoying. That being said, probably mostly because of Bill Paxton's delivery. He has grown on me a little bit over the years, but I'll still easily go with Newt just because she's the stronger character, and I think one of the best things about Aliens is the mother-daughter type relationship that develops between Ripley and Newt. So it's definitely got to be Newt for me.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Newt, wow.
Yeah.
The character doesn't do much. It just kind of howls around with Ripley.
She's doing a lot more than you think she's doing in the movie if you go rewatch it. Yeah.
She's like, my whole family died. Well, okay, that's sad, but you're not doing much.
Way to have sympathy for the 8-year-old kid who lost her family. Yeah. But all right, Jordan, you fucking heart of stone.
Yeah, sorry. Less character to her.
Got the Cowardly Lion and Furiosa from Mad Max. Obviously, we haven't seen the new movie yet, but she's obviously got a movie coming out, so we can only really go off of Charlize
Furiosa
Theron.
wings.
I
feel like-
basically,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I would probably even go that way as well. Although I think the performance of the Cowardly Lion by Bert, so I forget his last name, but he's fun at least. For
He's
me.
a
I
funny
mean,
character.
I would like to fight this out because I disagree. I mean, that's gonna take out my vote. But if you want to go for, if everyone else thinks it's Furiosa, fine. But
Yeah, I think it's got to be Furiosa for me.
Okay.
I think the
Furiosa.
Cowardly Lion is a funny side character, funny supporting character, but Furiosa is, I think, just a better overall character.
Yeah.
I disagree. But okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right, we got okay, so we do have Caesar from the Andy Serkis character
here we
from the
go.
Planet of the Apes, and then we got Hicks, which is Michael Bihn's character from Aliens. So yeah,
Oh, I couldn't think of Hicks. The name Hicks, like last
yeah,
time.
Hudson. It's
Yeah.
Hudson and Hicks, and they even make a joke
Yeah, I
about
freaking
that
love
at the,
Hicks.
at the beginning of the movie when they're like, "Hudson, sir, he's Hicks."
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, for me, I'm not a huge fan of the Planet of the Apes, the three movies they have, but I'm more so looking forward to the next one because now they're getting into more fantasy elements and it just like is a little more appealing to me. But I mean,
wait, sorry, which Caesar is this? There's been a couple Caesars. They're in the franchise and the old franchise.
the Andy Serkis Caesar
Yeah.
from the
the
new trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah, but like Michael Biehn though, he's just so badass though. Like I mean, like he's the guy kind of like everyone looks up to, and he's like kind of the next in charge. I mean, like either one or two, but and like he just has like these like looks and like things, little subtle things that he does. And I love when like the scene that I really love it is when Ripley like comes up and like asks if she can help and like shows her that she can run the big loader, and then Hicks and Ape are just looking at each other like, well, all right then, and they're like all shocked, and like just the little subtleties within the character just like make him just a really cool and fun character. And I don't care about Caesar, so I'm gonna go Hicks. So Richard, what do you say?
With that being said, if we're talking about the new Planet of the Apes movies, the choice is Caesar. Is you have to go back to originally he grew up like he got this chemical in him. He was adopted by humans. He learned how to talk, and then going to the future, like he was able to start this new family of apes with but also he has to like defend himself from the humans that, even though they're bad humans, he knows that humans can be good because the humans are raised by James Franco's family. There's more character development in Caesar than there is in Hicks, so I'm going with Caesar for that reason. Can't explain it, but best way because I've been drinking, but still.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Zach, what do you say?
This to me is very easy. I'm going with Caesar because you see in the trilogy how much he goes through and how much he develops from movie to movie, and just how he grows. And I just think it's an amazing performance. So I'm going with Caesar.
Yeah, Steven.
So I haven't seen War of the Planet of the Apes, but I saw Rise and Dawn. Yeah, as much as I love Hicks and as badass as he is, I do think there's a little bit more to Caesar's character than there is to Hicks. So I will also go with Caesar.
Well, Austin, I tried to fight for Hicks, but
Well, but it's funny because even in this one, it depends on the matchup because again, I love Hicks, I love Michael Biehn, and but if I had to take Michael Biehn characters, I take his portrayal of Reese over Hicks, only because Hicks is his only real arc is he goes from kind of a supporting leader, he's just a colonel, to like the actual leader when everybody else dies essentially, and just has to kind of step up and be the stoic leader. But even then, Ripley kind of becomes the actual leader. So and there's not even much of a relationship issue, either. A little bit like there was potential if they did the third one justice, but they didn't. To have more development, but that didn't happen. And that's when I actually will go Caesar, because I think that arc he takes over that trilogy is pretty fantastic, and the performance from Andy Serkis is literally one so good that people said we needed like a mocap Oscar for this type of thing, because
I would
good.
I would agree. Just
Yeah,
for the-
because he was so good.
Yeah, I mean, they said that
yeah.
too with his work in Lord of the
The
Rings.
reason I asked with
Right.
Caesar because I was looking at the thing, it looked like the old school, but then I realized looking in, it's the newer
I think he
face.
just
I'm
used
like,
the
okay,
same background, but yeah, it's all part of the same general franchise. But yes,
because there was another, the Caesar in the original trilogy. I wasn't
right.
sure.
But that one
Yeah.
isn't as interesting. It's just not.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah. Okay. So
Actually, I would disagree. I really liked the last two movies of the original.
Yeah.
I don't remember enough of them. I've seen them a long time ago.
Yeah.
So we got Marty McFly from Back to the
Oh,
Future,
this is
and we
really
got
tough.
Paul Atreides from
Ooh.
Dune, which this
Sure.
adds to it because had we done this, months ago without Dune Part 2, this might be a little more interesting. But now that we have Dune Part 2, if you've seen it, this could be a little tricky.
This would have been much easier if this was before Dune 2.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Because this Dune Part 2 adds a whole nother layer to this argument. So this is interesting. But Richard, we'll be right down to you.
I haven't seen any of the new Dunes. But my sister has been obsessed with the original Dune, and so much that I have actually hated just the concept of Dune. Like, I don't understand Dune, like the spices and all that. Like, I've seen it, the original, not the new one. But Marty McFly is just such an iconic character. The idea of the character, I think it's more drawn out than even. I haven't seen the new two Dune movies, but I have a feeling the Back to the Future movies are more drawn out than those movies because I've heard my sister complain about the second movie. So I'm going Marty McFly.
All right, Zach.
So I just recently on Sunday actually saw Dune Part 2, and
Nice.
I will say I still don't think Timothée Chalamet is a leading actor. I've never found him to have that charisma. I think Paul has more charisma I think Paul has more charisma in the second movie than in the first movie, so he's easier to follow. But I'm still not a fan of the character, and I feel like Marty just does so much that you kind of want to follow him and see what he does next. So because of that, I'm going with Marty.
Yeah. Steven, what do you say?
So prior to Dune Part 2, this would have been an easy vote for Marty McFly. But now that Dune 2 Part 2 is out, I think the transformation that he goes through from the first one to the second one is just phenomenal. And I actually think Timothée Chalamet is actually fantastic in Dune Part 2. So this is still really hard though, because I love the Marty McFly movie. I still would say that I like Back to the Future more than the two Dune movies. But as far as the character goes, as much as I love the Back to the Future movies, I think I will have to go with Paul.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, no, this is a little trickier than you might think. Because I think the journey that Paul has taken in those two movies is pretty great. Yeah, I've seen Dune Part 2 twice now. Probably go see it a third time in another couple of weeks. But yeah, goddamn, no, I disagree about Timothée Chalamet. What I think he's a great leading man. He shows his charisma in this movie. That scene, my favorite scene in the movie is when he actually is in front of that council, like the war council or whatever, and he just goes full on, leader messiah mode. Like, it's pretty great, and I believe it, and I think that's part of the performance. Having said that, I've lived with Marty McFly in Back to the Future for so much longer than I've lived with Dune. I've only recently become a fan of Dune, not because of the 80s movie, but because of these new movies. So I'm fairly new to that fandom and that character, so I'll still go with Marty.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really love the second Dune. The first Dune I liked. I mean, the first Dune of this newer series, I liked it, but I didn't love it. I just thought, a bunch of people running around in the sand, like trying to survive. It's good, but it's not blowing me away. But the second one did. The second one was freaking great, and I can't wait to go see it a second time. I haven't seen it yet, but I plan to. But because when I saw it in Dolby Atmos, and like that's the way to see it, and like the best sound. Like if this movie doesn't win like some type of Oscars for something. I think sound design, because like I remember I went out to go use the bathroom one time. I was down the hallway, like clear across the theater, and I could hear it shaking the entire building, not just the theater, the building. Like it was crazy, and so it's a great movie, and I do kind of disagree with the Timothy Chalamet. I think he's definitely an A-lister. I think he's proven himself now, and he's great. I really believe him. But I mean, come on, this is Marty McFly. Michael J. Fox is my favorite actor of all time. I mean, I cosplayed as Marty McFly at 3 different conventions. I mean, I got like Back to the Future stuff all over, and I got my DeLorean here with Marty here, and I mean, it's just like in my mind, he's one of the greatest characters in like movie history. Like I just think that he's that good and like just like iconic enough to just like lead 3 movies, and it's just a tragedy what's happened to Michael J. Fox, that he got Parkinson's, and like just think of like how many awesome or more awesome roles we would have got out of him, and like I think he still wants to act, but he just can't really do it the way he used to. So so I'll easily give it to Marty McFly.
To be fair, the only thing I ever got from Dune was spice is bad and people with blue eyes are good.
Yeah, because they eat spice. Yeah.
All right, we got the T-800 from Terminator, and Will Turner, Orlando Bloom from Pirates of the Caribbean. So we'll go to Zach.
This is actually a tough matchup because I think in both franchises, both characters actually do grow and develop and definitely have big changes. By the slimmest margin, and I hate to do it, I'm going with the T-800.
Yeah. Sounds good. Steven, what you got?
So is this all of Arnold's appearances, or just
Basically all of them? Yeah, because he always plays a T-800. So and it's all the different incarnations. Yeah,
that makes this so much harder, because if it was just the first one, as
Mhm.
iconic of a bad guy as he was, I would probably have gone with Will Turner. But if we're including the other movies, especially T2, oh my god! Just because I think I know where this is going, I'm going to vote for Will Turner, because I think this is probably Orlando Bloom's best role, and I actually love the arc that his character goes throughout the first 3 movies, and especially in the third one, because third one's always been my favorite. But yeah, because I think I know where this is going to go. I'm going to go with Will Turner.
Yeah, Austin.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we're including all the Terminator movies, even just the different incarnations we have of Arnold as T-800, they're all different and they're all interesting, as far as their approaches and whatnot. And even if you just take T1 and T2, him being this cold-blooded, killer in the first one, and being one that learns about humanity and learns to be sort of sympathetic and have somewhat of emotions and things. The second one is pretty great, and there's still 2 of Arnold's better performances because of Cameron. I like the Terminator movies more than I like the Pirates movies overall. They're fun, but Will Turner might be my least favorite character in that main group of characters. So
Really?
I don't know. He's kind of milquetoast. It's just like, hey, I'm spunky Orlando Bloom. And
especially in the first one, he has a lot to do.
Yes.
I'm just.
I would agree that he's kind of milquetoast in the first one, but I think he transforms into something cool in the third one.
But I don't like At World's End. That movie bores me. So the T-800 wins.
Orlando Bloom's best character is Lord of the Rings, Legolas.
Yeah, but for me,
but I think he has more to do in the Pirates movies.
Yeah, and I think that like Will Turner, like he like even if you say these milquetoast, his character does play a pivotal role even in the first movie, kind of the second and third too. I mean, he's the guy that has the blood of Bootstrap Bill or whatever that that they need from him. But yeah, I mean the T-800 though, like Arnold is freaking great. Like like this is like one of his most iconic roles, if not like his most iconic of all time. Like he's just like so good, and he just plays it great. I mean, like he's like one of the like he's actually scary in the first one, and he even has like a little bit of like funny moments despite being kind of like scary and tough and just like badass character. But yeah, so I think it's got to be the T-800. Yeah. Richard.
Okay, I actually do like Will Turner. He was a fine character. He was a little whiny like Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars films, but again, he grows as the other ones. And the reason I'm picking the T-800 is because as much as I hate Genesis is the worst Terminator film of all time, but for character development, the T-800 had probably the best character development in that movie, because you learned like he becomes you understand the more of like he has a different relationship, better relationship with Sarah Connor in that movie. Like you kind of feel bad for him, like he kind of grew up with her. But the first two Terminator movies were flawless. But like just giving more of character depth, if you're saying who has the best character development, it's still the T-100 because of Genesis. Because that movie sucked, but that development was great.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so there's Michelle Rodriguez as Holga from Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't remember how many put in there, but we got Bishop from Aliens. That's Lance Henriksen's android character. So Steven?
Well, yeah, I mean, since I've already said I haven't seen Dungeons and Dragons, so it's gotta be Bishop.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin.
No, I mean, yeah, like I said, I like Dungeons and Dragons. It was fun, and I like Michelle Rodriguez. Her performance kind of reminded me of Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, just the way she says things so bluntly and whatnot. You know, they were kind of tapping into that. But yeah, in this case, I'll stick with Aliens. I like Lance Henriksen a lot as Bishop. Yeah, you don't know whether or not you can trust him, and he kind of goes back and forth, but then he becomes a pretty beloved character by the end of the movie. So yeah, I'll go with Bishop.
Yeah, they have another android on in the crew, and Sigourney Weaver's character is not like that. She gets pissed about it, but pretty much as I like Bishop as a character, like I thought Michelle Rodriguez's Holga was the best part of the entire Dungeons and Dragons movie for me. I thought she was awesome. Like she had tons of charisma. She was funny. Like she had great action. She I mean. Almost all of her characters, she always plays a badass. So I never really got like we did a podcast, and like Richie said that he's not a big fan of Michelle Rodriguez. I love Michelle Rodriguez. I think she's awesome, and like she's like one of the better parts of even like Fast and Furious and that kind of stuff. But yeah, here though, I think that like if I go back to rewatch Dungeons and Dragons, it's gonna be for her character because I loved it, like just everything about her in it. So I'll go with Holga. Richard, what do you say?
I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love Michelle Rodriguez, but she kind of plays the same character over and over again, and she was very like her character in this was very one note. I like Bishop. I'm going with Bishop in this one.
Man, I totally disagree, but Zach, what do you say?
So I'm going with Holga I was going to go with Holga for two reasons. One, like I said, I'd only seen Aliens once, so I don't remember much of it. And also, with Holga, you get backstory and you get like things that endear yourself to her character, along with the action. So that's why I would have gone with Holga.
Yeah.
Bishop. Okay, and we're done with the first side, so let's jump to the other side and see what other characters we got for mostly the same franchises here, just a few other characters.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad on time, so that's good.
Yeah, no, well, there might be a few other ones we can jump ahead on this other side. We'll see. Like we did there. We'll see.
And we only got 5 of us, so
yeah. All right, so
but But Moose actually has a very good excuse, but I'll tell you guys off air. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to say it.
I think we can skip this one.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
Oh, Burke is such a
Yeah.
great villain, though.
Burke's a great
No.
villain.
He is.
Yeah, it's
He's
a
a
villain
great
versus
villain.
hero. Like, no, I mean Ripley's gonna win this, but I do want to give props to Paul Reiser for being like one of the iconic corporate
Yeah.
weasel villains. You know what I mean? Like as far as like just the Weasley corporate guy, he's great and he's phenomenal. But you're going up against Ripley, who's for my money a top 3 greatest heroic action hero of all
Move
time.
that up
period.
now.
Yeah, so,
It's
no,
funny
we will.
because
Yeah.
Paul Reiser,
Yeah.
is mostly known probably for Mad About You, and he's very likable on that show.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
of course, and here,
Yeah.
He's not likable. Yeah.
But and even then, Ripley has 4 movies of development as well, you know. So to add on top of that, so yeah, it's
Yeah.
there you go. All right, so we got Trinity from the Matrix. And we got
Oh,
Morpheus
no.
from the Matrix.
Oh no,
Malcolm,
Sir.
what'd you do to us?
Oh, yeah. What the
Damn
heck,
it, Malcolm! What the
Malcolm?
hell?
You did this on purpose.
You're gonna
Oh.
message him right now and say
Oh.
how.
Yeah.
You know,
What the
Malcolm,
hell?
you're not even here, and this is for you.
Shame. Bad vampire.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Game of Thrones one would have been better with the shame.
Yeah,
Oh,
I just
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
we'll
what
have to
I
pull
just
that
like the
one.
what we do in the shadows one because of how nonchalant it is. Shame. All right, damn it, I gotta go first. Shit, because both these characters are great, and Trinity is fantastic. Yeah, the way she develops through that series, but man, god damn it, is Lawrence Fishburne like just the man as Morpheus, and every line delivery he has is awesome. And yeah, he's the stoic leader, and he's sometimes wrong, and but he stays the course, and I think he just absolutely just controls every scene he's in. So it's tough, but I'll be happy with either one, but I'll go Morpheus.
Yeah. So I've actually met Carrie Ann Moss at a convention. I got to talk to her about the Wachowskis for a little bit and kind of geek out about that because she said that those are hands down like the best directors she's ever worked with, and yeah, I think that the Trinity character is awesome. Like I think she's a great kind of love interest, but then just like supporting of the whole cause that they're going for in the Matrix of like just trying to survive against the machines, but she's just there to help and support in like whatever way that she can, and like she gets to some of the like most badass moments. And just to be a little nitpicky, I think like as cool and awesome as Morpheus is, he does get a little kind of just like gotta find the one, he's the one, blah blah blah, and like starts to like even annoy other characters in the movie, and it's just kind of like, I mean, he's still great. I mean, but I got to be nitpicky here, but like I don't have any complaints about Trinity like at all. So I'll go Trinity. So, Richard, what do you say?
I do have complaints with Trinity. It's called The Last Matrix Movie. She was terrible in that. I'm going to go with Morpheus because his faith never wavered. He never doubted that Neo was the one. Everyone told him he might have been. Even when Neo tried to tell Morpheus he wasn't the one, he still believed. And even though Lawrence Fishburne didn't come back for the last movie, his character, I feel like he stayed strong. He never wavered, and it was a different actor in the 4th movie, but fuck that guy. Lawrence Fishburne should have came back. And I just think Morpheus is the stronger character.
Well, that's Yael Abdul-Mateen. He's a good actor. Just the character was weird.
Yeah.
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 I don't blame the actor for a bad script.
Well,
you know
I'm
what I
saying
mean?
the character, I felt like his beliefs and his character strength was stronger than
he's
Trinity.
the guy I would have advocated to take over Jonathan for what's it, Jonathan Majors for Kang because he's a good actor. And
I you know what I mean though. I'm choosing Morpheus because I feel like his
Yeah.
character was stronger than Trinity's.
Yeah, totally. Zach, what do you say?
So this is a hard matchup for me because I think I've seen The Matrix once or twice, and I've seen the 2 sequels. Don't remember anything about them, but you're not supposed to really. So,
Reloaded's good.
I love Reloaded.
I'll defend that. Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Morpheus for 2 reasons. One, because I feel like he had the pill scene is one that's remembered for him. but also he just looks so cool in shades. So I'm gonna go with Morpheus.
Yeah, well, they all do. But Steven, what do you say?
Okay, I think there's more depth to Morpheus, and I think Lawrence Fishburne is a stronger actor. But I think Trinity could have been even better if they hadn't fumbled the Matrix Resurrections, because I actually love the idea that Neo wasn't actually the one, that it was actually Neo and Trinity together. I thought that was actually a really cool idea, but I don't think the movie did a good job in really developing that idea. So because of that, I'm going with Morpheus.
Yeah, like legacy sequels are so hit and miss. It's tough.
Yeah.
You look at Fury Road, that was awesome, and then this
And
one,
also your argument that everyone looks good with sunglasses. Mouse didn't look that great with sunglasses. Just saying in the first movie.
well, he was all right.
So we got Bill S. Preston Esquire against RoboCop.
Might be lopsided, but
we'll see. We can go quick when we need to. Jordan.
yeah, I mean, I think it's got to be RoboCop. I mean, that character's awesome. Like just like one of the most badass characters. I mean, yeah, and I think that he was portrayed for some reason. Space on the last name, Peter Weller.
Although John something Burke, I think, did him in
Robert John Burke did him in the third one. I asked the ASAT rules question about that recently. I said, "Give me all 3 actors who have played RoboCop."
Oh
Peter
yeah,
Weller, Robert John Burke, and Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah, but and like Alec Winters, he like I don't know why he doesn't do more acting. Like he was great in Bill and Ted. He was great in The Lost Boys, and like, but like he just doesn't do a lot of stuff. So, and I think he was in something like fairly recent. I feel like, but yeah, RoboCop is just an amazing character. So got to go RoboCop.
The third Bill and Ted. That's.
I mean, Alex Winter.
There's that, but
he
there's something else though.
He makes documentaries now and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah.
But Richard.
Well, as you can see on my screen, as much as I love Bill and Ted, Bill is nothing without Ted. As much as, like I said before with Ted, RoboCop, it's for the win. Because RoboCop is a standalone character. Bill is nothing without Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, you're probably talking about that Destroy All Neighbors movie, Jordan. That he was.
Oh yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah,
he was in that. Yeah, but Zach, what do you say?
So I'm probably in the minority, but I'm going with Bill because I've never seen the original RoboCop, but I did see the remake, and I thought it was okay. Nothing about it really stood out. So for those reasons, I'm going with Bill.
That's why you got to go watch the original RoboCop.
Yes, it's on my list to see. I just haven't gotten around to it.
But you can skip the sequels.
No one's gonna watch a Bill solo movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, Zach, you just need to find a list of the greatest movies of all time and watch those first before you watch other stuff. Yeah, but Steven?
I mean, RoboCop was in my top 128, and the Bill and Ted movies are fine, but
they're more than fine.
The first one was okay, but the second one is enjoyable.
I could tell someone was born in the 2000s. Oh.
No, actually, I was born in the early 80s.
Same thing.
But yeah, I'm going with RoboCop. I think RoboCop and Alex Murphy are great characters.
Oh, they are.
But Austin.
Yeah, no, I'm with the RoboCop love here. Yeah, I love that original RoboCop. It's in my 128 also. And yeah, I think the character journey from Murphy to RoboCop and him trying to kind of reclaim his humanity after becoming this, this robot owned by this corporation is interesting and fascinating. And even the character itself has interesting stuff in those sequels. It's great. I RoboCop 2 is a guilty pleasure, because that movie's just bonkers, fucking crazy. But RoboCop 3 is not great. but yeah, 2 is nuts. That movie is it's a Fred Decker movie. It's just insane. But I still love that original RoboCop so much. So I gotta go.
It has kid bad guys that I think
Yeah,
are just
kid-
not
You really-
even remotely intimidating.
You
He's
really need
not supposed to be, but it's interesting that he can't shoot him because he's a kid.
you really
and,
needed
like,
Bill and Ted to be put together.
and
You
you
can't
have,
you can't separate those two.
You have Ted Levine is like Kane. Like I think he's kind of interesting, and like I mean, there's bonkers things about that movie when he's like trying to be good RoboCop, like shooting people for smoking. Like it's hilarious. There's some good stuff in that sequence.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If you would have had Bill and Ted together, they probably would have won the whole thing.
I
They
don't.
Oh, because I have Bill and Ted bias. I would have made sure they would have won the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard to do. When you're
Jordan
winning out
knows.
of
You know,
5.
Jordan knows how much I have Bill and Ted bias.
Oh yeah.
But it's hard to win a whole thing when you're up against a whole panel.
Yeah, but
trust me, I know.
But both of these had animated series I watched as a kid. Not saying they were great, but they had them.
I don't remember an animated series of RoboCop, but I do remember
there was. Hey,
There
you
was
know
a
what,
Bill and
Steven?
Ted animated series.
Now that you say that, maybe I'll play it before we go to the speed round.
Yeah,
There
right.
was.
Yeah, there
The
was.
intro.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They had a Rambo cartoon series. They had all kinds of goofy cartoon series back in the day.
Weird.
So we have the other kid, whatever, from Narnia, and
Susan,
and,
the oldest
and Captain Barbosa, Jeffrey Rush. Richard.
I hated Susan for the very moment I saw this character in Narnia. And as soon as I found out what happens to her character in the books, I hated her even more. Hector Barbosa was a great villain, and he became a great anti-hero. Hector Barbosa for the fucking win.
Yeah. Zach, what do you say?
I mean, this is easily Barbosa. I have always thought he was such an entertaining villain that did turn into an anti-hero, and it's fun watching his journey. So Barbosa easily.
Yeah. Steven.
I like Susan, but yeah, I gotta go with Barbarossa. I mean, Jeffrey Rush is great in this.
Yeah. Austin.
Yeah, I think along with Sparrow, Barbosa may be like my favorite character out of that. I just think Rush is awesome. He just has a ton of charisma as that character. You can tell he's having a lot of fun. And I was really happy. I remember sitting in the theater at the end of Dead Man's Chest when he comes down the staircase, like eating the apple, and he comes back. He's like, "What's happened to me, Ship?" I was like, "Yes, bring back the guy. He's awesome." I love that guy. So I clapped it there. I thought it was great. So because he was like one of my favorite ones to come out of that first movie. So I'll go with Barbosa.
Yeah. I mean, do you believe in ghost stories, Miss Turner? Well, you best start believing.
You believe in ghost stories.
You're in
Turner.
one.
You're in one.
You're in one. Yeah, because like it's one of the coolest lines, and like just kind of like seeing the back and forth between Barbosa and Jack Sparrow. It's kind of like a love-hate relationship kind of thing. Like they like both want to take claim over the Black Pearl. They both think that it belongs to them, but then like at first they don't work together, and then at one point they kind of do, and it's just kind of interesting and like a really great dynamic. And the character's great. Instead of a parrot, he's got the monkey, and I think it's a lot of fun. And and Susan, it's kind of forgettable. So I'll go with.
Okay, so the reason I hate Susan is because at the end, like I guess the end of this Narnia series, the original 4 children grow up. All the other 3 do, like, they kind of go back, or they want to go back, but Susan refuses to go back because I don't think she believes that Narnia actually existed. That's why I hated her character so much.
Yeah, that kind of happens.
All right, so going down to finally got some Ghostbusters characters coming up. So we got Peter Venkman and
they're all going to be on this side.
Yeah, they're all going to be on this side, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anybody voting Scarecrow over Bill Murray?
No
Ghostbusters?
way.
No.
The best character in Ghostbusters? No.
Yeah, no.
One doesn't have a brain. The other uses his downstairs brain too much.
Yeah. Game we saw, we kicked its ass. Yeah.
All right, so we got Elizabeth from Pirates of the Caribbean, and we got Wesley from The Princess Bride. We got that's Carrie Elwes' character.
This is kind of a decent.
All right,
matchup.
so kind of 2 sort of movies that have some swashbuckling and sword fighting and whatnot. So a little bit. So Zach.
I'm not the hugest fan of Princess Bride, but Also,
Boo.
Me neither. Me
but
neither.
also, I just think I was gonna vote for Elizabeth Swann anyway, even if I was a fan of Princess Bride, because I just feel like her character development actually is meaningful to go from the royalty to, in a way, becoming a badass by at least the third movie. It's a good like change for her, and I just feel like it's a better character.
She becomes a pirate and she's kind of proud of it. So yeah, but Steven.
Yeah, so I don't think I ever saw all of The Princess Bride. I saw most of it, but I don't think I ever saw all of it. That being said, Carrie Ellis was fun in the part, but I love Elizabeth Swann. I love Keira Knightley as Elizabeth Swann, especially just like I said about Will Turner. I think the third movie is the best that we see from both Will and Elizabeth. So I'm going with Elizabeth Swann.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, again, I'm not a giant fan of The Princess Bride. I realize it's like a good movie. It's just not for me. Like I just never I didn't grow up with it and stuff, and connect to it in that way. But hey, I understand why it has its fans. So I don't like crap on it. It's just not for me. But yeah, I like Elizabeth Swann as well. That's kind of where I got a crush for a little while on Keira Knightley, from that original movie. And I think one of my favorite scenes is when her and Jack are stuck on that island for a little while, just drinking rum and just goofing around
that is great,
and getting drunk and goofing around. So that's fun stuff. So I'll go with Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because I think that probably Elizabeth Swann might be Keira Knightley's best role that she's ever done for me. I mean, I kind of like her in Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, but it's not going to be Elizabeth Swann. But
That was a good movie.
Yeah, but yeah, I am a big Princess Bride fan, but I do kind of see how people can say it's overrated because it's just, I don't know, like the obsession that some people have is kind of like unreal. I don't know, like my ex-wife, that was her favorite movie of all time, and we had Princess Bride stuff all over our house, and we had magnets on our fridge and blankets and pillows. Even we had all that stuff, and we kind of had a thing where we tell each other "as you wish" because it means I love you or whatever. But and so I just have more of a connection for that reason, and yeah, so I'll go with Wesley, aka the Dread Pirate Roberts, because he's basically the main character and really good, and he's funny and got some pretty interesting things, and he goes on a huge character arc, he really does. So yeah, just from being a stable boy all the way to being a heroic swashbuckling guy, and then at the end when he's drugged up and he's can't move, he's paralyzed, and they're having to move him over the wall and try to sword fight and stuff. I think it's fun. So yeah, I'll go with Wesley. Richard, what do you say?
Well, my vote doesn't matter. It would have gone to Wesley. I liked Elizabeth. We're talking about character development, character arc. Elizabeth Swann would have ended up with Jack. She had no dear attachment to Will. It was either or. Wesley only had one true love. He fought for her throughout the whole movie. Elizabeth Swann, if it went the other way, she would have gone with Jack easily. It just happened to be a way. She was kind of whiny in the first three movies. Wesley had the stronger character, but it's going to be Elizabeth Swann moving on. I understand.
Yeah. All right.
We're going down to Egon, Ghostbusters, and Edmund.
Well, I think you can switch that up.
Egon?
All right, Egon.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Awesome. All right.
Pretty obvious.
Fuck Edmund.
The fact that all the Ghostbusters characters are getting an easy pass.
Oh, because Edmund sucks. He's the worst character in the Narnia series by far.
Because he has no morals.
Because the first movie, only the first movie, he sucked.
I don't even remember him, to be honest.
He's the one that believes in Narnia the most.
He wanted the lights, whatever the Turkish delights were. Fuck that character.
All right, we got. That's right. We had Koba from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes because that performance in the villain
played by
was
Toby
really good.
Kebbell.
Yeah, Toby Kebbell.
Wait,
and
who was Koba? Can I get a reminder?
So he was kind of the one in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. He was the sort of antagonist, but you kind of understood where he's coming from because he's sort of like the.
Is he a monkey or is he a person?
He's a monkey. Yeah, he's the one who has the different approach of
Okay.
to humans. He's. I'll give you an analogy. He's the Magneto to Charles Xavier.
Was he in the first one or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No,
he was sort of like a villain of the second one, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways, yeah.
But he was kind of a sympathetic villain because you
got it,
see
got it,
where
got
he's
it.
coming from. But against Doc Brown, so Steven?
I don't really remember Koba that much, to be honest, even though I did love Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So Doc Brown pretty easily.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate Koba. Again, it's kind of that Magneto thing where he has a different approach to the people, and that he was a ape who was experimented on, like in a lab, so he has a contentment for humans, whereas Caesar was kind of raised, by people, sympathetic people, so they just have a different approach to things. It's fascinating. It's good stuff. But yeah, again, like the Marty thing, it's like I've lived with Doc Brown more, and just even seeing the different incarnations of him, both the 50s version and the 80s version, are both great. So I'll go Doc Brown.
Yeah, the first time that I went to any comic convention, well, actually no, it was the second time, because the first time I was Marty McFly, and then I decided to do it again because one of my best friends who's been on the show, my buddy Mark Johnson, he was Doc Brown. So, and of course I got my Doc Brown here, and yeah, like I think it's just an awesome character that like I wish we could have even seen more of. I mean, it's too late to do a sequel to Back to the Future, but if we could have, I mean, Christopher Lloyd was one of the biggest advocates, really pushing it. But and yeah, I think that he's an awesome character. And like, what is that picture that's there? Is that the DeLorean? That's like a weird picture of the DeLorean.
He got like a fan picture of the DeLorean from like a fan poster sort of a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It looks kind of cool. Like if you had like a modern like updated version of it, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I imagine once like Robert Zemeckis passes away someday, they'll do a remake or something. But Doc Brown though it is like kind of like even though he's supposed to be a mad scientist, like he's kind of like in some ways like kind of like level-headed to like Marty in some ways. They kind of balance each other out in different ways. They both are kind of like have their dreams and aspirations, but then they have some levelness to each other. And I think that he works really good with Marty, and he's a fun character. So yeah, there's not a lot of fun old characters that are old that I just like gravitate towards, but I love Doc. So yeah, I'll go with Doc Brown.
Mm-hmm.
But Richard, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Planet of the Apes, I only remember the bad ape in the first movie and Woody Harrelson's character in the third movie. And Doc Brown is just too iconic. He's too great, so it's gonna be Doc Brown for me. I mean, I didn't want to sway the vote because I just didn't remember who Koba was.
Yeah, but I met Christopher Lloyd, and he was very old and quiet. Like
well, he's old, so
yeah,
he has the right to be.
Yeah, right. Because I was like dressed as Marty McFly. I'm like, hey, it's Marty on the dock, and he's like very nice and just shook my hand. I'm sure people do that to him a lot. So
you did more than I did.
He's never met anybody who's dressed up as Marty McFly ever.
Yeah, he never has. Yeah. But also, I think those like celebrities should realize they're going to get that a lot if they go to conventions.
Dude, his 2 words quote, "Great Scott," is more iconic than Koba is. Sorry.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. But Zach.
I'm gonna go Doc Brown for a couple reasons. One, just the iconicness of it and the character, but also how many different lines that are said by him, and also he's just integral in a different way. Like both him and Marty are integral to the story in different ways. He's more like the scientific reason, and this is not swaying my vote, but I actually got to meet him last month, so it was
nice.
It was fun. Nice. So, but I'm gonna go Doc Brown.
Okay,
awesome. Steven. Oh yeah, you were
first.
Yeah.
All right,
you had a lot to say on that one. So,
Ellie, Ellie Sattler, Laura Dern's character from the Jurassic Park movies, and we got Ray Stantz.
Oh yeah.
All
right.
Okay, so I'm up first. Yeah, I mean, it's not as hard because I do like Ellie. As far as I like Laura Dern and whatnot. She's all right in Jurassic Park. She might be my least favorite of the kind of core three. But yeah, I mean, Ray Stantz again he just blends so well in with the group, with his knowledge of mythology and how he's fascinated with all the weird shit, and it's just he's a lot of fun. I still think it's probably Dan Aykroyd's best role along with the Blues Brothers, so I'll go with Ray.
Yeah, I mean, I don't love Dan Aykroyd in a lot of things. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I think he's pretty cheesy in a lot of things, but the Ray Stantz character is great. It's just really cool. And I like that he has the picture with the cigarette there. That kind of it's something I remember from the movie, and just kind of makes him look a little cooler, I guess. But even though I hate smoking, and then Ellie Sattler, the scene that I always loved her in was when she has to go turn all the switches and they have to kind of direct her, and then the raptors come flying out, and the way that she screams in terror is just really good. But I think that it's got to be Ray, though. I think that if all the Ghostbusters don't make it in at least the second round, that would be sad. So I'll go Ray. Richard, what do you say?
I am choosing Ray. Because when you look at all four Ghostbusters, every individual of the Ghostbusters have such a strong character, but together, you can't even tell because they blend so well and they're very good at bouncing off one another. If you look at the original three, Ellie, Alan, and Jeff Goldblum's character, Jeff Goldblum, you can tell, is the standout out of those three. Ellie is a good character, but again, she's kind of like Alan. She doesn't have a strong character alone. Ray has a strong character by himself, and even together, it works just as well. So it's Ray.
Yeah. Zach, what do you think?
So I'm going with Ray, and more because of Ellie, because especially in the first movie, she barely has anything to do. I mean, there's two iconic scenes from her, but that's kind of what she's known for. The standing up in the Jeep, finally seeing the dinosaurs for the first time, that scene. And then it's the dinosaur poop scene. That's the other one that
really not Samuel Jackson's hand coming on her shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But again,
Mr. Arnold.
But again,
or turning off all the switches, like I said.
I'm gonna go with Ray, because he's more of an iconic character in my opinion.
Yeah, he almost seems like if the Ghostbusters had a leader, it might be Ray. I don't really think they do. But
I mean, it's Bill Miller's character. He is kind of the leader.
I mean, kind of. I don't know, but
he's not the smarts. He's not the brains by far.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's kind of the leader.
Yeah. But Steven, what do you say?
I'll probably go with Ray as well, but I do love Ellie, especially actually in Dominion. I think just seeing all of the characters reunite in that movie was great. But I'll probably go with Ray.
Yeah.
All right.
I was just gonna say, I feel like it was bad to bring them back in Dominion because they didn't even do anything in Dominion.
Well, if they would have used them better, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
if you compare the new Ghostbusters movie, they brought back kind of the old ones. They didn't really do anything either.
No,
they don't even appear until the very end.
Yeah.
But it still worked for me.
Yeah, it did work.
Yeah, I love Afterlife, and I'm so excited for Frozen Empire.
Oh, send it with me. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Ellie loses Jordan, but here, I pulled this for you very quickly.
Mr. Hammond, I think we're back in business.
Are you sure about that?
The heck? What is that?
And his name is John Cena.
John Cena.
Wow.
Dude, John Cena was hilarious at the Oscars.
He was funny at the Oscars.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He was good.
All right, here we
The
go.
bold move to come out naked.
All right. So we got Dutch from Predator, Schwarzenegger, and Buttercup. I forget the actress name from Princess Bride.
Yeah, you
Right.
could easily change that. Like
Yeah.
You could- yeah,
she
you could
was the
put
least
Dutch.
interesting character in Princess Bride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dutch rules, right? Like Dutch
Yeah.
is fucking awesome. Yeah,
I can't remember even who played Buttercup.
yeah.
Princess Bride,
Robin
like
Wright,
her
isn't it?
character was the
Robin Wright.
least
Oh, yeah.
interesting character
Yes,
in
Robin
that
Wright.
No,
franchise.
it's Jenny. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Robin Wright.
Yeah, I found her to be so annoying in Princess Bride.
She was boring. Like she was the least interesting
Boring.
character.
All right. So we got Michael Fassbender's David, which we included from the Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
From
Uh,
Yeah, I
Prometheus,
was
not-
like
not
thinking, wait, he's not.
No, just like he
Or-
just put aliens for like the franchise. But yeah, I mean he's the most interesting character out of Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Yeah.
So that we included, and then Aslan from Narnia as well. So
Yeah.
Jordan.
This one's interesting because they're both like okay characters. I mean, but I think probably like Aslan doesn't have that much to do. He just kind of shows up at the end, and he's like the wise guy, like wise old like person that they or whatever it is, lion that they go get advice from and kind of gives them guidance and stuff. He's like the I don't know what you would even like compare it to, but the old sage.
God.
So, I don't know, but David is like a really like kind of calculating, almost kind of this deceitful, kind of menacing character in a lot of ways. He's just really kind of like is really good at like fooling people into thinking he's one way, and then he's totally like a villain. And so I think I'll go with David. Yeah, kind of like the original Ash in some ways. So yeah, but Richard, what do you say?
Okay, so I think it was C.S. Lewis who wrote Narnia.
Mm-hmm.
He was very religious. Aslan was God,
Oh,
and that was his whole thing. Like the afterlife where they left was going to be heaven. But
It could have
I'm
been,
choosing
yeah, what they're
I'm
going
choosing Aslan because even though he didn't have much to do, his presence is what guided the whole Narnia franchise to believe what they did. Like all the good people, like even when he wasn't there, people knew he was there. Like people fought because he believed Aslan is this, and just his presence alone gave more of a character arc than I think David did. So I'm going with Aslan for that reason.
you think Aslan was supposed to be God? I never saw.
No,
it,
he was God. He was the emperor.
like I didn't see it. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
But Zach, what do you think?
Okay, so to me, Aslan was probably the best character in Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. But also, the only Alien movies I've seen is Alien and Aliens. So I have no reference for David. So I'm going with Aslan.
Yeah, he's in like a couple of the later ones, like the last two or so. But Steven, what do you think? You're muted.
You're muted.
Aslan, I love Liam Neeson has a great voice, but I think Aslan is more of a symbol than a fully realized character.
Yeah.
So it's David for me quite easily, who I think is really a really interesting character, and I think Michael Fassbender is great.
Yeah, even in Alien Covenant, which is a bad movie, like his character was still good. So, but Austin,
Yeah. Again, I'm not as familiar with Narnia, so I don't even remember who Aslan is. So I have nothing about it. So yeah, I mean, I would have gone David as well, just because.
Liam
Yeah,
Neeson.
I think. Well, great. I don't care.
Yeah.
So David again is the most interesting thing about those two movies. Yeah, because I'm not a Covenant fan either, but at least his character is pretty fascinating, what he's trying to accomplish and whatnot. So I would have gone David, but
Yeah. Well, David goes. I thought David went through.
I thought it was 3-2 for Aslan.
Jordan, did you vote for David?
I voted for David. So yeah.
Oh, I could have sworn you said
I voted for
I'm voting
Aslan, and then Zach
No,
voted
I
Aslan.
did not
So
vote
David.
for Aslan.
I mean, if you want
okay.
to keep it like that, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, like,
100%.
as in fairness.
I 100% could have sworn Jordan said da 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 da. I'm voting for Aslan.
No.
No,
So,
because Aslan was the adaptation for C.S. Lewis as God. Because in the second movie, where everyone would decide to go to the different realm, it was heaven, not like their actual Earth realm.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Blah, 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 blah.
Hey, how dare you?
All this God shit. What the fuck? Narnia. Who gives a shit? It's Narnia. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't think it's God, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, Agent Smith and
I was
Ash.
giving you knowledge. That was it.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't give a shit either.
Yeah. Aslan is God. I've never heard that. Anyways, so okay, Agent Smith and Ash from the original Alien.
Dang. This is a good match.
Okay, so Richard.
Ooh, I'm going Ash because Agent Smith did the same thing in all the 4 movies. Mr. Anderson, blah blah blah. I am a virus. I'm no longer a virus. Ash had more of a compelling character. Ash.
Yeah. Zach.
I mean, my answer is gonna be short and sweet. Ash, kind of for the same reasons. He had more of a character than Agent Smith.
Yeah. Steven.
Alien. I always preferred Aliens to Alien. I don't even really remember that much about Alien other than the scene when, the big scene when the alien comes out of the guy's stomach.
Yeah.
And Sigourney Weaver at the end of the movie.
Yep. She's very attractive.
But is Agent Smith a bit one note? Maybe. But Hugo Weaving is fantastic, and I think Agent Smith is one of my personal favorite movie villains of all time. So, Agent Smith.
Yeah. Awesome.
I mean, I disagree that Agent Smith does the same thing every movie because he literally changes in the sequels to be a completely different, version of Smith and a completely different character with different objectives. Like, I don't think he's the same character in Reloaded as he is in the original. And even then, in the original, I still think he's a fascinating character because he's the agent that wants to break out and hates what he does essentially, and that's why he's interesting. So yeah, I mean, I like Ash for what it is, but really the only thing of his character is that he kind of turns on the crew and tries to kill him. I mean, like it's all right. Like it's scary when it happens, but I'll go Agent Smith.
For me, this is like one of the toughest matches for me because I actually like the first Aliens a little better than Aliens. It's close, but I just like the kind of more horror aspects of it. I'm kind of like you, Austin, when it comes to the Terminator franchise. I kind of like just like the horror aspect of the first one, but and I think Ash is like a really like interesting character because you really trust him and you really think he's kind of this like guy that has a lot of knowledge and is kind of wise and kind of like knows what he's doing. And you think he's one way and then he turns on everyone, betrays them all. And it's kind of like a shocking moment because you don't even know that he's an android until a certain point in the movie. And so you're just like, whoa, and that's crazy. And like Agent Smith, like, yeah, like I don't know. I do think like in some ways he is kind of like the same character. He's still awesome, but like because I think that he wants to escape the Matrix, and then once he does, it's like then like I don't really know like really what his purpose is other than to like destroy Neo. That's all. That's what he wants to do. So I think I'll go Ash actually. So
interesting. Okay, so Ash wins this one.
Yeah.
Right, okay, maybe a bit of an upset in my book. It
could be.
All right. All right. So we got Louis Tully, Rick Moranis,
Louis,
Snake Plissken from Escape from New York and Escape from LA, I should say. So Zach.
I mean, this is easy for me. I've always been more interested in Snake in both movies. I actually think LA is better than New York, in my opinion.
Really? Ooh, that's a hot take.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be a hot take. I agree with that.
Escape from LA to me is a guilty movie pleasure. But I just always found the character fascinating. And with Lewis, like he doesn't do anything for me. So Snake easily.
Yeah, my favorite scene of Escape from LA is when he forced him to play basketball.
Yeah, right.
It's so compelling.
Yeah.
so much tension
Doesn't
on
it feel like
whether or not
as much
he'll make the layups in time.
doesn't feel like much is happening in that Escape from LA. That's my
Yeah.
But Steven?
I think they're both kind of one-note characters, but I enjoyed both of them anyway.
Really? Oh.
I'll just barely go with Snake Plissken.
Okay.
Well,
Austin?
I like her also.
Yeah, no, these are two actors I really, really love because I love Rick Moranis, I love Kurt Russell, pretty much everything they do. I'm super hoping we get at least a cameo from Rick Moranis in this Frozen Empire movie maybe at the end. I don't know. Maybe they kept it under wraps and he will. I don't know. We'll see. Please come back to movies, Rick Moranis. I miss you. But in this case of the characters, I think the more interesting character and the more fun character to watch is Snake Plissken. So I'll go Snake.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Like they're both actors that I love. It's hard to say which one I actually like more as an actor. I like them kind of equally. But yeah. Like I love like the like Lewis character, like when he's trying to like get Sigourney Weaver to come over and like hang out with them and stuff. And like she's just like, no, I'm not going to. And he becomes the like I don't know what they call him. Like, is he just a key master? Is that what he becomes, or
I'm the
I don't know
key master. I am the gatekeeper. Yeah,
yeah, like because it's Sigourney Weaver that says, "Are you the key master?" That's right. Yeah. Snake Plissken. Yeah, I think that there's a way more interesting and compelling character. I don't even like really love Escape from New York. I just like mostly I like the tone of the movie. Like that's the main thing. I like the world they create and I like that, and some of the music too, but and the character too. But I think the writing could be better, but yeah, I'll go Snake Plissken. But Richard, who you got?
I haven't seen Escape from New York, and Louis Telly is a very one-note character, but the difference is in the whole movie where all the characters great. He being kind of like the annoying character kind of works out for him. Being sympathy, I loved Louis Telly's character. He got to be a Ghostbuster in the second movie. I really hope he does a cameo in the newest movie.
Yeah.
So I would vote for Louis 100% because I've only seen Louis's character, but he doesn't win. But still, like he's fun.
Yeah, he is fun.
All right, now we got Neo from the Matrix, and
no, okay.
Not all the Ghostbusters are gonna make it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, skip it. Like I suppose I love Winston. He was the boring
poor
one.
Winston. I like Ernie Hudson. I'm glad he's back.
Winston is always getting the short.
I know.
Well, compared to Neo, I'm sorry, you can't do like.
Yeah.
You can't do like the main character of the Matrix versus the guy that came into the first movie that like
halfway through.
He hasn't got any character development.
Yeah.
It's just funny. It's the black guy out of all four Ghostbusters.
I know.
Well, if Neo lost, I'd have to quit the stream. So come on.
Hey, to be fair, we put through Morpheus too, so it's not like all the black hair just getting the shrift.
I was just joking.
Yeah.
I just
all right, so we got John Connor. It's funny.
And technically, Lewis did get voted out too. He was a Ghostbuster too.
I know
all the versions.
I think I remember actually Malcolm asking me how many versions there are, and I had to lay out all of these different ones. For him because he figured out like there's the brief guy and T2 at the beginning and the prologue, and there's like young
T3,
version. All these different versions of against Claire from the Jurassic World movies, Bryce Dallas.
And then Jason Clarke at the end.
I was going to say, do we need to vote?
Yeah, I don't think we do.
Yeah, anybody voting Claire over
Claire's a character.
No, I will say Claire does get better in the trilogy, but
I'm just saying the iconicness of John Connor, like Terminator, doesn't happen without John Connor.
But Claire has a really cool scene in Dominion where she's under the water and the dinosaurs looking down like her in the water.
But the first Jurassic Park movie with her ruins her.
Yeah.
Even if she got better.
She's just a damsel in distress.
All right, so we got Dorothy. Finally, an interesting character from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
But she's going up against the T-1000 though, so this might be short-lived. But I think
not
I think
necessarily.
I think we'll vote on this one. We'll see.
Yeah,
Steven.
Yeah, I mean, there's another case where the T-1000 doesn't really have much of a character, but he's still a great villain. Robert Patrick is great in part, so I'm going with the T-1000.
Yeah, Robert Patrick is great in everything except one thing, X-Files. But
I thought he was great in the X-Files.
Yeah, but compared to Mulder, don't replace Mulder. But Austin.
Well, see, here's the thing: the T-1000 could have actually been a fairly bland character, and I think Robert Patrick gives him a lot of character and personality, and the charisma that he has is because of Patrick's performance. I think that could have been just. I mean, look at the fucking T-1000 guy or whoever it is in Dark Fate. He's boring as shit, because he's got nothing to him, and he's basically the same type of robot. Like you can't have a super bland character that has nothing going for him. But I think he's really interesting with the finger waving and the looks that he gives people, and some of the inflection, in his voice when he does talk. And I think there's interesting stuff there. Again, Dorothy's, good. Like I like Judy Garland, and she's cute and fun, and she does her thing, and and I like that movie. But yeah, I'm gonna go with T-1000.
Yeah, like my overall take, kind of like a general take on Wizard of Oz, is that it was iconic for its time, but that was a time long ago, and we're not in that time, and that's not really that relevant to me anymore. So,
to you, I think that movie still plays like years later.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's fine if you want to go back and watch it. I just don't have a desire to really rewatch it. But I am looking forward to Wicked though, because I've seen the off Broadway play, and it was great. Like it's the best Broadway show I've ever seen. So, and the T-1000 is awesome. Yeah, just kind of all the little like nuances and subtleties that Robert Patrick brings to the character. I think that it's really cool. He'll just mow through anybody. He's very menacing. Like he's like unstoppable. Like how do you stop this guy? Like it just like seems like almost impossible. And Dorothy she's fine. So I'll go with the T-1000.
Yeah.
But Richard.
This is the true upset because Dorothy wins hands down. T-1000 only has one objective. He is boring. Dorothy has so many dimensions.
I disagree that he's boring.
He's no. I'm saying as a character, like what he does is fantastic. But like if you're talking about like character dimensions, she has to she wants to leave her small town. She gets thrown away from her family, her aunt and uncle. We don't know whatever happens to her parents. That to me is more of a character development. She goes to a fantasy world. She is unknown, befriends people who are considered family, goes back in time. I'm saying there's more arc development and like for fantasy and like to more ideas of what Dorothy's character is than there is to T-1000. And I think I honestly do think Wizard of Oz is as good as T2 when it comes to like what movies do. It's a very fantastic film. It's as good as T2. And I just think Dorothy has the edge for more imagination.
No, not even close.
Yes, when it comes to musical, if Wizard of Oz is one of the best musicals, as T2 is one of the best sci-fi movies. So yes, they're as good with one another.
I'm not a musicals guy, so
yeah, I'm saying, but if you can't compare them together, but for fantasy, yes, they're as good as one another in their genre.
Maybe for the 30s, but
no, not even the 30s. It's still real to this day.
Yeah.
It's more relatable to T2. Plain simple.
All right. Well, Zach, what do you say?
So originally, I thought this was going to be a tough matchup, and then after hearing everybody talk, yes, to me, Wizard of Oz is a good movie, but to me, I feel like the T-1000. It does bring a more uniqueness to the character because of what you said, Jordan, of like, how are you going to stop this character?
What character does the T-1000 have? I'm sorry. He has no character.
Well,
he's a robot.
Yeah, just because of that uniqueness, that's why I'm going with the T-1000.
In my opinion, he could go toe-to-toe with any, like, hero, villain, anything. Superman. He'll take Superman off. Superman might win.
I'm talking
but he'll
about
be the only
character. I'm not talking about strength. Character.
Yeah.
What do you know about the team without?
I understand that you're. I understand that you're hurt. They didn't win, but Dorothy didn't win. So
Yep,
sorry.
it didn't.
I apologize, but
Neither
team
did he.
without won.
Neither did Judgment Day too.
Yep.
All right. So, all right, we are done with that. So we are moving to the speed round. And while I scroll it back over, since you mentioned it, Jordan, I'll just play this while I'm scrolling back over.
Detroit, the near future. Officer Alex J. Murphy and his partner Ann Lewis fight to rid the decaying city of the criminal element which infests it. After being mortally wounded in the line of duty, Officer Murphy is outfitted by OCP with bulletproof titanium robotic parts and with computer-enhanced motor and sensory capabilities. He has become the ultimate super cop, RoboCop.
RoboCop is such a violent movie and not for kids at
That's what I was
all.
going to say.
Listen
Yeah,
for
RoboCop. He was murdered by all these horrific gangsters, and he lives in a crime-ridden city. Fun for the whole family.
Yeah, right.
That was so messed up. They made a cartoon show out of RoboCop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's funny.
Oh, they not just one. They made another one in the late '90s. There was a follow-up called like Alpha something or whatever. There was another one. So I mean, they made 2 cartoon series out of RoboCop. Oh, you should see the Rambo one, Steven.
The
Even
Rambo
more,
one.
even more inappropriate for kids.
They made a Rambo cartoon.
A Rambo
Yes,
cartoon.
you know what? After
yeah.
we get done with this first one real quick, I'll play that real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's only like 30 seconds. Oh yeah, we'll go down a little rabbit hole. But anyways, all right. So
it's like if they made a cartoon out of a Tarantino movie or something, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
All right. So this is the speed round. So we'll speed it up here, pretty much 10 seconds or less, one or the other. So just and all the winners of this round right here will go to the Sweet 16, and essentially we'll make it to our 3-part championship series, sort of like our ladder series when we do years. So keep that in mind. And all right. So first up, we have the Wicked Witch from Wizard of Oz and Deckard. I'm up first. I'll go Deckard. Jordan.
Well, for as much as I'm not a Wizard of Oz fan, I like the Witch of the West. I think that she's, for my money, the best character in the movie. So I'll go the Wicked Witch of the West. Richard.
I'm going Wicked the Witch of the West only because I don't remember Deckard that well.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
That's the only reason.
Yeah. Zach.
I'm going with Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay.
Yeah. Steven.
And I would have gone with Rick.
Okay, so we have a close one with the Wicked Witch. Okay, and pardon me, I have to write these down really quick for Malcolm.
He's on the Sweet 16.
Thank
you. Yeah.
I'm also writing him down because Malcolm wanted him to start making.
Oh, I'll send it to him. I'm writing him down. So, yeah, I got it taken care of. We got Ian Malcolm from Jurassic Park and Kyle Reese from Terminator. Jordan.
Oh, fudge! This one's tough. I think I don't know. Man, this is the toughest matchup so far. Let's go with Ian Malcolm. Ask me tomorrow and I could change my mind. Richard?
Malcolm, because Kyle Reese has been diluted throughout, like, the good Kyle Reese performances have been bad Kyle Reese performances. It hasn't been a bad Ian Malcolm.
Yeah. Zach?
Kyle Reese.
Yeah. Steven?
Kyle Reese.
And Austin.
And I'll also go Kyle Reese.
Ooh, okay.
So, yeah. All right.
I'm not mad about that because it was razor close for me.
Yeah. All right, Kyle Reese. Okay. All right. Going down to Darvis Chris Pine from Dungeons & Dragons and Owen Grady from Jurassic World. Richard.
Ooh. I like this match.
Richard.
I think
You're muted.
I'm going to go with Owen.
Owen. Okay. Zach.
Owen.
Owen. Steven.
Owen.
And I'll also go
Awesome.
Owen.
Yeah, I'll go with Owen. Let's make it a clean sweep.
Okay. All right. All right. So Owen, and then we'll go to Katniss Everdeen and Sarah Connor.
We're getting some good matches now.
Hey, but guys, remember what Jennifer Lawrence said before she was cast as Katniss? There were no lead action female characters that have been cast as female action heroes. Just remember that.
Did she say that?
Yeah, she actually said that.
Really?
I don't know if she was being stupid or what, but that was really stupid. Okay, anyways,
There's a bunch of them actually.
I know, I know, and then everybody on Twitter roasted her for it. So yeah, that was in that thing with the one-on-one with Viola Davis that she did. But anyways,
Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, Princess Leia.
I'm gonna go with Katniss.
The Bride.
Yeah, the Bride. Yeah.
Anyways, Steven.
This hurts. Sarah Connor, just barely.
Yep. Awesome.
Sarah Connor. For me.
We have to go with Sarah Connor. Yep.
Richard.
It's Sarah Connor.
Sarah Connor. Okay. All right, I'll note that down real quick.
It was close for me. So
yeah. All right.
So it's also close to me too.
Okay, Jack Sparrow and Mad Max. Steven.
Only because I've seen more of the pirate movies than the Mad Max movies, and Jack Sparrow.
Okay.
Yep. Awesome.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, it's got to be Jack Sparrow. Richard.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah. Zach.
And let's finish the clean sweep. Jack Sparrow.
All right, Jack Sparrow. Okay, clean sweep.
He's a pirate named after a bird. All right.
Okay, Newt from Aliens and Furiosa. I'll go Newt. Jordan.
I go with Furiosa. That's off of something. I don't. Oh yeah, Wingardium Leviosa. Furiosa. I'll go with that. Yeah. Richard.
I'm gonna go Furiosa.
Okay. Zach.
Furiosa.
Okay. And Steven.
Furiosa.
All right, Furiosa. Okay.
Awesome.
No, I went first. Furiosa. Okay. All right. Caesar from Planet of the Apes and Marty McFly. Jordan.
Hello, McFly. Hello. I'm gonna go with Marty McFly. Richard.
McFly.
Yeah. McFly.
Exactly.
From like Back to the Future 2 and the boss popped
This
up.
is tough, but even though I love Back to the Future, I think Caesar has a better overall character development. So Caesar.
Steven.
Yeah, I would agree that Caesar has the better character development, but I just like Marty more. So Back to the Future. Marty McFly.
Yeah, I think the more iconic geek character is Marty McFly. I'll just say that.
Again, I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it at all.
Right.
So.
Yeah. All right. Let me write that down. Marty McFly. Okay. And Marty moves on. The T-800 and Bishop. Ironically enough, Lance Henriksen was killed by the original T-800 in the first movie.
Yeah.
Richard.
T-800.
Okay.
Zach.
T-800.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Steven.
T-800.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll also go with the T-800.
Yep, and I'll go the T-800.
We're having a lot of clean sweeps now. That's good.
Yeah, a couple. Like sometimes it can happen, So, but it'll probably get harder as we go a little further.
Both James Cameron movies.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Certainly so.
The Cameron matchup.
All right. Lance Henriksen, one of the few people that's been, along with Bill Paxton, has been killed by a predator and a Terminator and an alien.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Ripley against Morpheus. So we'll go to Zach.
Ripley.
Steven.
Oh, it has to be me next.
That's kind of how the show works.
Ripley.
Yeah. Austin?
100% Ripley.
Yeah. Easy for Ripley.
Okay.
Richard?
There is no spoon, so obviously it's Ripley.
Yeah.
I almost went with Morpheus just because Aliens is really the only movie in the whole franchise that I actually really loved.
Yeah.
RoboCop and Barbosa. Steven.
RoboCop.
I'll also go RoboCop.
Yeah, I'll go RoboCop.
Mhm.
Richard?
Actually, I would have gone Barbosa, but it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Yeah. Zach?
And I would have also gone Barbosa.
Okay.
Oh,
And a character moves through that I had to remind Malcolm to put in this tournament.
yeah, right.
It wasn't on his initial rough draft. I was like, sci-fi action, RoboCop. He wasn't
Yeah,
in the
come
action
on.
thing. I was like, you gotta
Yeah.
put RoboCop in there. That's sci-fi.
You got it.
All
So,
right.
that's why we didn't put him in the action one because he was saving it for this one.
Because that movie's like a sci-fi action. Yeah. All right. So Peter Venkman and Elizabeth Swann. I'll go Venkman.
I'll go Venkman. Richard?
Easily Venkman.
Yeah. Zach?
I'm not a Bill Murray fan, but also I think Elizabeth Swann is the better character, so Swan.
Yeah. Steven?
I was gonna go with Swan just because I didn't want it to be a clean, complete shutout. But since Zach went with Swan, I'll stick with Venkman.
Sure.
All right. Peter Venkman going through. All right, we got Egon and Doc Brown. Oh, kind of similar characters.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Kind of both sort of the mad scientist characters. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a close one. Jordan.
It's got to be Doc Brown. Yeah.
But this is an interesting matchup, though, just of character versus character.
It is, yeah.
Kind of similar, yeah.
I wish they could both be in the championship.
Yeah, me too. Richard?
Yeah, it's Doc Brown. That pains me. Egon's great, but Doc Brown's better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zach?
Doc Brown.
Yep. Steven?
Egon. Do Ray Egon.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm Austin.
God, yeah, I love Egon. I wish he could go through to the championship, but yeah, it's got to be Doc. But I'm sad to see Egon go. That sucks. But
great Scott. There he goes.
Yeah, all right. Ray Stantz and Dutch from Predator. Richard.
Ray.
Okay. Zach.
Dutch.
Steven.
This is another really tough one, actually. I love Ghostbusters more, but I'll go with Dutch.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, this one's also tougher than you might think, because I think Dutch is one of Schwarzenegger's better characters he's ever done in his career, actually. I like the development of that character. God damn it, I'm going to use my 10 seconds. Dutch.
Yeah. Got to be a Dutch. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I didn't know that was Schwarzenegger's character. I've seen Predator once. I probably would have gone Dutch because that was a good role for him.
Yeah, I think it's one of his best characters.
But I like Ray as well. That's fair.
He's gonna stick around.
David from Prometheus and whatnot, and Ash, both android characters, evil android characters.
Oh shoot! Yeah. Oh dang!
Both the evil androids of the franchise. Zach.
I mean, since I've seen one of the movies and I haven't seen the other, Ash.
Okay.
Yeah. Steven.
I'm probably the only one who's going to vote for him, but I liked the David character, so David.
Yeah. Austin.
Steven, I'm with you. I think that the more interesting evil android character with the more development is David, so I'm going David.
I mean, I like him kind of equally, so this is one of the few ones that just comes down to the movie I like better. So Ash. Richard.
I don't remember any of these two characters. I'm only going because I like the Evil Dead, so I'm choosing Ash because it's a different character name.
Okay, sure. Hey, you can vote for whatever you want.
I'm sorry.
We're not voting on that, Ash.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been an easier.
I think we voted on that Ash in another tournament.
Yeah, I think we did.
Well, that's my bias, so we can thank that Evil Dead Ash for being.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Snake Plissken and Neo. Steven.
Neo.
Okay. Yeah, I'll also go Neo.
Yep, I'll go Neo. Richard.
There is a spoon. Neo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he learns how to bend it, but Zach.
I would have gone with Snake.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Neo moves on. Okay.
I actually think Morpheus is the best character from the Matrix movies, personally. But
John Connor and the T-1000. Okay, so characters who faced off against each other. All right, me first. Yeah, I'll still go with John Connor in this one. Jordan.
Man, This one's really tough. I guess I'll give it to John Connor because like you see him do more, and I mean throughout like different movies and stuff. So yeah. Richard.
John Connor is the most interesting character as a kid, as a Christian Bale's character, as the guy
Christian
who
Bale.
turned evil. So
Mhm.
John Connor.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Zach.
John Connor.
Yep. Steven.
I actually really like the idea of turning John Connor into a bad guy. They just didn't really do anything with it.
Yeah.
But I'll go with John Connor.
Except for eventually make him like a Terminator, like robot. I'm like, what the fudge are we doing?
It came around circle.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you imagine if that Terminator went back in time and tried to kill himself? That would have been a great movie.
That would have been weird.
All right, so all of our Sweet 16 for the 3-part championship are secure. So now it's just see who comes out as maybe a favorite in the overall tournament in the future.
Yeah.
So this is kind of just for fun, just to see who wins. But we'll start with the Wicked Witch and Kyle Reese. Jordan?
Kyle Reese. Yeah.
Okay.
Richard?
I'm going Wicked Witch of the West. Still a better character.
Yeah. Zach?
I'm still going with Wicked Witch of the West.
Yep. Steven?
Kyle Reese.
Yep. And Austin?
Yeah, Kyle Reese. Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a shame.
The Elite Eight. Owen Grady and Sarah Connor. Richard?
Sarah Connor.
Zach?
Owen Grady.
Yep. Steven?
Sarah Connor.
Yep. Austin?
Her development over the 3 movies she's in is fantastic, Sarah Connor.
Yeah, like it'd be a good fight to like see him go toe to toe, but I gotta go with Sarah.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, she was one of the few good things about Dark Fate.
That's what I mean. I like her character, like who is just this aimless Terminator killer, depressed, person just trying to stay relevant and whatnot after John's dead. Is interesting. I don't like what they necessarily do at the beginning of that movie, but it is what it is.
For the record, for the Wizard of Oz, where was Toto? Toto would have won the whole thing.
Although I'll say this,
in Africa.
It does give me an idea, Jordan. We maybe could do a movie animal characters tournament at some point.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Toto and Lassie. And
no, because Rocket Raccoon would win the whole thing.
And what's his name? Free Willy. Willie from Free Willy. He could do like an animal character, thing.
Yeah, there'd be some cheesy ones you got to add in there. Polly, or I don't know what other kind of
Rocket Raccoon.
Ed.
Benji. Ed. Yeah, the monkey from Every Which Way But Loose up against Ed.
Yeah, right. Be a weird tournament.
The monkey.
Could be interesting. Yeah. Anyways, we got Furiosa versus Jack Sparrow. Zach.
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
Okay. Steven.
Furiosa.
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow, are you afraid of death? Good Jack Sparrow.
What was that?
That's the Davy Jones when he's like Jack Sparrow, are you afraid of death?
It's too late to ask that question, Austin.
Yeah. Richard.
Amber Heard's arch nemesis, Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just realized the last match of this side is gonna be torture. That's this one.
Oh, Marty McFly.
But also, like speaking of, like I don't know why Amber Heard reminded me of this because she wouldn't even be in it, but we could do a best female characters like match sometime. Just like strictly all female characters.
She has
be
a couple
interesting.
characters I like a lot, actually.
Yeah,
I know
but
that everybody hates her, especially after the whole debacle. But she's
the worst of like all humanity. I'm sorry. She's
well, no, Amber Heard was great in Pineapple Express. Like her small part in that was great.
I really liked her in Drive Angry.
I like when she got her head caved in Zombieland. Anyways, T800 and Marty McFly. Steven.
I really loved her when she pooped on Johnny Depp's pillows.
Yeah, you're the first.
On her bed.
This is going to be a case where I don't care who wins because I love them both equally, but T800.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because I've liked a lot of the different incarnations of the T-100. Marty, but just by a little bit.
Yep, it's got to be Marty. Richard?
It is close, but I am going with Marty.
Okay.
Zach?
Marty McFly.
Okay. All right. Okay, going to the other side, Elite Eight.
That was like probably the toughest one out of that bunch.
Okay, we got Ellen Ripley versus RoboCop. Me, I'll go Ripley, but I love RoboCop. Jordan?
Yeah, I'll go Ripley.
Okay.
Richard?
I'll also go Ripley.
Yep. Zach?
Ellen Ripley.
Okay.
Yep. Steven?
I was gonna go RoboCop initially because I thought Aliens is the only one that I love. Then I remember, oh wait, the first RoboCop is the only one I love in that franchise too.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to RoboCop since it looks like Ripley is the winner.
Yeah, Ripley's the winner.
I'll defend the Joel Kinnaman one, but I won't say it's like amazing.
I'm not gonna say it's better than the original, but I like the Joel Kinnaman one. I've always
Yeah.
defended that movie. So
Yeah.
Peter Venkman and Doc Brown. Jordan.
Ooh. Man.
This ties with the Marty McFly T-100 as being
Yeah, this came up there.
It's got to be Doc Brown, but it's really close. Yeah. Richard?
I'm going Bakeman.
Yeah. Zach?
Doc Brown.
Steven?
Make it interesting.
What to do?
Make it up to Austin.
But with your heart.
No, don't leave it up to me.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave it up to him because I can't vote against Doc Brown.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I this is a tough matchup as well because I love Bill Murray. But yeah, there's people, there's a guy at Universal Studios that dresses up as Doc Brown every day, and he's awesome. So Doc Brown.
Yeah.
Every time I go down there, I talk to him for a few minutes. He's great. He's like this one guy who's always there every morning.
Is that the one in
No,
Florida?
that was probably the toughest one. I just I love Ghostbusters a little bit more than Back to the Future. Just
what was that, Steven? I didn't.
Is that the one in Florida or the one in California?
The one in Florida, yeah, the one in Florida. The guy every morning, like around 9 or whatever, comes out and stands by the train, from Back to the Future 3.
Oh yeah,
says good morning to everybody and just kind of hangs out. He's great. It's the same
Did we
actor.
see him?
Like,
I can't remember if we saw him on.
Oh yeah. No, he was around. Yeah, he's always like hanging around. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
So he just goes out there every morning for like a few hours. It's great. So,
Oh.
all right. Dutch and Ash. Richard.
I'm gonna go Ash. I like the name.
Okay. Zach.
Okay.
Dutch. I like the performance.
Yeah. Steven.
Dutch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with Dutch because he's a great character and I like the name.
Yeah. I'll go with Dutch because I like Dutch babies. They're little mini scones and they're really delicious.
That's fair.
Got Neo and John Connor. All right, both kind of the sort of chosen
saviors,
ones.
yeah.
The saviors of humanity. Yeah, the chosen ones in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Zach. Yeah, very similar.
John Connor.
Okay, Steven.
Yes, Steven.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably go with John Connor. I like the Terminator franchise more.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way, and I like multiple incarnations of John Connor, so I'll go John Connor.
Dang, you guys are killing me. Neo, easy. Richard.
I would have gone John Connor just because there's been different. Like we've seen a good John Connor and a bad John Connor. We've only seen a good Neo.
But Neo was never played by Jason effing Clarke. Come on.
I don't think Jason Clarke.
I don't think
Neo was in the last Matrix movie, which was horrible.
Jordan, you're the one that dislikes Jason Clarke. I don't.
Yeah, but
Steven doesn't. Like none of
that might be like the role that made me like dislike Jason Clarke.
Wait, which one was Jason Clarke? What movie?
That was Genesis.
He was in Genesis. Yeah, the one that turns into that's a John Connor robot.
But wasn't he the same guy that was kind of the Agent America and the Falcon and Winter Soldier? Is that the same guy or no?
No, you're thinking of
no. Did
I'm
you?
Oh, yeah,
not
that's fine.
sure who you're thinking.
Did you see Oppenheimer, Richard?
I did. I've seen half
Okay.
of it.
He was the guy who's like the prosecutor guy, and those like when they're grilling people with the questions.
Oh
in the
yeah,
third act.
he was good in that movie.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's also in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
He's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, and Keanu Reeves is also in that horrible Matrix 4th movie.
Yeah.
No, like I've only seen half of Oppenheimer. I need to finish the other half.
Yeah, the second half is the best part. And
Well, I know. I'm saying it was like really long. I've been taking my time. I have to go back to it.
All right, so we got a Terminator matchup. We got Sarah Connor and Kyle Reese.
So in a way, a mother versus father.
Yeah. Well, basically, like.
Wait, so does that mean whoever wins, John Connor automatically loses because he won't be born?
The baby daddy, the two that have sex with each other to make the savior. Yes.
So that means whoever wins, John Connor automatically loses. Because the timeline, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm kidding.
All right.
But
what?
But in tournament fights, there can only be one winner.
That's true.
Steven, you're up first.
All right, this
So it is John versus Sarah, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
I'll go with Sarah.
No, it's Kyle versus Sarah.
Oh, Kyle versus Sarah.
John's on the other side. We're saying it's Kyle Reese.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking stupid.
It wasn't a mother-son match. If it gets down to those two, it will be. But right now, it's the technically John Connor's mom and dad.
It's okay. You can ban me next time. I apologize.
So what'd you go with, Steven? I'm sorry, in that commotion.
Just barely Sarah Connor.
Okay. Yeah, I hate. It's hard to vote against Michael Bean's version of Kyle Reese, but I'll go Sarah Connor.
Yeah, it's not hard for me to vote against him, Sarah Connor. Richard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at all the adorations of Kyle Reese, and like, just it's Sarah Connor. Without Sarah Connor, like, it's just her performance is that strong. It's in that side.
Yeah. Zach.
Sarah Connor.
No.
I just realized that this keeps going. We could get like the two most iconic female action heroes maybe ever in the finals, which would be rough.
Are you Sarah? Sarah Connor? Come with me if you want to leave.
I don't know if accents are your strongest suit, Jordan.
I'm gonna keep doing them.
I mean that with love, but I don't think that's your strong
Sarah
suit.
Connor. Come on.
I don't even attempt to do a Schwarzenegger impression.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Sarah Connor is fantastic.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
Y'all are both terrible. All right.
Practice
Jack
makes
Sparrow.
perfect. Come on.
Well, practice in the mirror. Jack Sparrow. Well, you need more. Jack Sparrow and Marty McFly. Me, I'll go Marty. Jordan.
Oh, shoot. This is like a championship match for me, but I'll go Marty. Richard.
Okay, it's Marty versus Jack Sparrow. I'm trying to like, because I mean, fuck, this is really hard. It's Johnny Depp is such a strong, like, as an actor, he's just a strong influence, like, in the whatever he does, especially in the Pirates movie. But Marty is just, he's so important to the Back to the Future movies, and I'm going Marty just because, like, how important he is to the movies. Jack Sparrow isn't, like, as much as they try to make Jack Sparrow important in Pirates of the Caribbean, he's not necessarily the important character. It's just how he made it that way.
Yeah. Zach.
This is a tough matchup. I'm going Marty simply because over the movies, they haven't developed Jack as great as they have with Marty in his 3 movies. So I'm going with Marty McFly.
Yeah, all the character development kind of just comes from Johnny Depp himself, just doing stuff. But Steven.
Clean sweep. Marty McFly.
Well, I mean, that is really hard because there have been more Jack Sparrow movies in the Pirates franchise than Marty McFly, but it's just like the importance of the character for me.
Yeah, Marty McFly is a slacker.
Yeah.
So, put that slacker through.
Got Ellen Ripley and Doc Brown on the other side. Jordan.
Oh, no. Oh, man. I think I got to go Ripley. She's just an amazing character. Richard.
Damn, this is really hard. Like, I'm going with Ripley because I've seen all the Back to the Future franchise. I've seen like 2 of Aliens, but how strong her character is, like that has to be
Just
something.
the first 2 alone.
Like the impact of the first 2. Like, I'm going Ripley.
Yeah. Zach.
Doc Brown.
Yep. Steven.
You know, it's funny. I said the Aliens is still the only movie in the franchise I love, but I know I'm in the minority. I thought Alien Resurrection is kind of underrated, actually.
It's a guilty pleasure. I get enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, but the whole thing with her being a clone of Ripley, I think there is some really interesting stuff. So I'm going with Ripley.
Yeah. Awesome.
The greatest action hero of all time, Ripley.
Yeah,
that was really hard.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
We'll just bring back all characters in movies through clones, guys.
See, we could have gotten Back to the Future finals, but
it was close. Yeah, not gonna happen.
We could have.
Dutch from Predator and John Connor. Richard.
Yeah, John Connor.
John Connor. Okay.
Zach.
John Connor.
Steven.
I'm actually gonna go with Dutch.
Yep. Awesome.
John Connor.
And I'll go with Dutch.
It was close, but John Connor. All right. So, all right. On the left side,
you get mother versus son. Is it gonna happen?
Good or action heroine versus action heroine, or some other incarnation. We'll see.
Yeah.
We got Marty versus Sarah Connor. Zach.
Marty McFly.
Steven.
Sarah Connor.
Austin.
Sarah Connor.
I'll go Marty McFly. Richard.
There hasn't been a bad Marty McFly movie. There's been a bad Sarah Connor movie. Marty McFly.
Yep.
That's all it came down to.
Marty.
We could have had the 2 action heroines going up against each other. All right. Steven.
But I'm gonna butt head in the championship.
Well, there's none in this tournament.
No, but we called it a butthead.
Steven, we got Ripley and John Connor.
Trust me how much painful that was for Sarah Connor. That was painful for me.
Well, the frick was Biff Tannen in this thing? He should have been.
Yeah.
We debated about that, and we couldn't let him in. I don't know.
Where was the hoverboard? That would have won.
I've got a hoverboard, but it's in my garage. It's not here.
It's not a real hoverboard.
Oh, it's real.
Ripley.
It's made by Mattel.
I'll go with Ripley. Jordan.
Ripley. Richard.
Who's Ripley up against?
John Connor.
Yeah, John Connor.
Ripley.
Yep. Zach.
This is close. Ellen Ripley by a smidge.
All right. All right. Our finals of this tournament are Ellen Ripley and Marty McFly going up against each other. So, all right.
Ooh.
2 pretty iconic franchises.
Ridiculous.
All right. And I got to go first. And yeah, it's close, both near and dear to my heart. I will smidge it out to Ripley.
Yeah. And I'll smidge it out to Marty McFly. Richard.
I love Marty McFly, but only one person has saved the world against aliens. It's Ripley.
Yeah. Zach.
Marty McFly.
I mean, there hasn't been a bad Marty McFly movie. I mean, remember that.
Member has the more interesting character arc over 4 movies. Steven.
We're 2 movies.
4 movies. 4 movies. Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection.
Yeah, but they're not interesting. That's the problem.
The other 2. Disagree. I think what Ripley goes through is interesting.
Yeah.
That's heavy. Don't call him chicken. So I guess I'll go with Marty McFly.
Ooh.
That is fair.
All right.
And the favorite that won this tournament, Marty McFly.
It was close, though.
No, it was very close. Like I was in this Marty versus Ripley, I was going by strength alone. And it's like
He was
Ripley
as a
she
cowboy.
Honestly, if you had given me more time, I might have switched over to Ripley. But since you trying to get an answer out of me in 10 seconds, I'm like, okay, I'll go with it.
Like,
Yeah.
I would argue there hasn't been a bad like Ripley Aliens movie. She's been good. Like her character wise has been good in all Aliens movies.
Her
Same with
character,
Marty McFly.
yeah.
I know Austin
I'll
likes
say
the movie,
that.
but I was
just giving you crap about it being interesting or not. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll see all the 16 back again in our championship, so they'll have another shot, and depending what the matches, it could be totally different. I mean, you never know, so anything's possible. So it'll be a 128 match coming up next month, so a 3-parter. So it'll be tough when you throw in.
I want back in.
Like Darth Vader and Jean-Luc Picard, and you throw in like Gandalf and Frodo, or like whatever, Harry Potter, like that kind of stuff. So
now, when it comes to Darth Vader, are you like including Anakin Skywalker along with Darth Vader? Since
Yes.
He is the same person.
We have them as 2 separate characters, actually. So we have Anakin, and then we have Darth Vader, because they're distinctly 2 different people. Like, I mean, they're like the same, but also very different, though.
If that's the case, even though Darth Vader is more iconic, I think Anakin is the more interesting character.
Yeah, so it just depends, like where you're.
I don't know. I think he would have had him as the same character because of Episode 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's where they kind of merge, like the 2 characters. Yeah, but
no, I get why you separate them. It's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, that'll do it for us tonight. That was fun, guys. So yeah, and we'll just do some plugs, and that'll be it. So yeah, we'll go to Richard. Thanks for joining us last minute, and where can we find you?
You can find me on YouTube as External Void. You can find me on Facebook as Richard Schwartz, and Twitter. And I hope I come back for this finals, because I want to see how this turns out. Bring me back in for, especially when there's comic books. I can fight for them too.
Oh yeah. Well, for the championship, I definitely want to have people that have done some of these other tournaments for sure, because they've been part of.
I want first dibs. I want comic books at least one time.
Yeah. Definitely have you for one of them. But
I'll be selfish for once.
Yeah. And Zach, where can we find you?
On Letterboxd and YouTube at MovieFanZ, but also you'll find me on this channel coming up multiple times, and competing in other places as well.
Yeah, sounds good. And Steven, what do you have going on?
I don't really have anything else going on at the moment, but you can find me at Letterboxd at Shepard80. Shepard82, and on Facebook and Instagram at Steven Shepard82, and just my name on Facebook.
Yeah, sounds good. And Austin, what do you have going on?
Let's see. I'm hosting an ASAT Thursday night at 7. For anybody who signs up for that one, I'm guest hosting that one, so you can come over and play some trivia.
Nice.
And then I'll be playing in another one later that night before Lonely Marks. But we have Lonely Marks on Thursday night, which I'll also be kind of hosting. We'll be talking about WrestleMania 14 and the other current news and our road to WrestleMania. And then we'll be doing got a Why We Love Horror match over on John Marr's channel. Dropping on Thursday as well, so I'll try to link that in the Shoutout Friends and Family group. And then the only thing this weekend, I'm assuming me and you, Jordan, are gonna spin the mystery tournament wheel at some point on Saturday. I'm assuming, after, at some point after I get off work.
Coming up,
but that'll only be like an hour. But yeah, we'll jump on that. And then that night, I'll be jumping on Mega Movie Z, Wolfman's channel, and we'll be doing our March monthly mistake drinking game. So in honor of St. Patrick's Day, last year we did Leprechaun in the Hood, and this year we're doing Leprechaun Back to the Hood. So for anybody who wants to check that out with us and watch along, you're welcome to do so. So yeah. But, and I'll try, for anybody who didn't watch last year, I swear to God this is true, one of the drinking game parameters that I looked up for the Hood movies is anytime there's a racial stereotype, take a drink, because there's some rough ones in there. But also it's anytime the Leprechaun makes a rhyme or raps, which is a lot in those movies, so it's rough. So yeah.
I think I checked out after the third one. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, the fourth one's a guilty pleasure because it does have some like Star Warsy kind of stuff in there. He actually uses a lightsaber and whatnot, and it's goofy and weird. But yeah, those movies are not amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're doing that.
Well, so I always hate when you have to do freaking updates to apps and it makes the app worse because my note app is like there's an update and it like completely changed it and it's hard to find like half my notes. They're there, but I just got to like really dig for them. It's like annoying, but yeah, you can find us all over the social medias if you search Movie Hero 2121 on pretty much all the platforms, and then also Jordan 83616. I'm a little even more active on my own personal social media, and then you can find us in the Schmodown Friends and Family group, which we will have a poll. We've been a little kind of light on the polls, maybe not doing all of them, but we'll get back to them. I'll make sure that at least one of us gets a poll up for our championship. We actually aren't going to be doing polls for any of these geek character, the individual ones, but once the championship, when we get to our Elite 8 for that we'll have a poll for that. So watch for that for next month. So that's coming up. And then let's see. We have been doing some trivia. We just did our exhibition, our seen and heard drinking trivia, which were all scenes from movies that bar scenes or like drinking scenes, partying scenes where they're getting drunk, all that stuff. So we did that for the month of March. That was yesterday on the channel. So you can go watch that and play along, see how you do on that. And then we haven't. The next of our tournament, which I'll be reaching out to the people next, because I'm just gonna just for anyone who might be curious who's coming up next, and also who for anyone who might be watching and might hear their name. The next match, the 4-way will be Group A2, and it'll be Aaron J versus Brian Nussbaum, Russell Howell, and Michael Wolfman Wyndham. And then we also have one that'll be Dylan Randazzo, Nazario Montenegro, Kerry Webb, and Alec Miller. So I'll be reaching out to you guys next, and we'll try to get your next matches scheduled. And then let's see. We'll also be doing next week. I won't be doing it this week because I got some other things I got to work on for the channel. But probably this weekend, along with me and Austin doing the spinning the wheel 64 times for our mystery tournament, I'll also be spinning it for Wheel of Movies. So we'll have Wheel of Movies a week from this Wednesday, and we'll get back into that. So we'll do a 1-hour deep dive of whatever it lands on. And the Wheel of Movies is comprised of all of our favorite movies from all of our regulars and the partners in the channel. And how you get your movies on the Wheel of Movies, if you do a top 64 or a 128, we'll include your movies in that. So Zach, I know you have your 64 coming up. So once that happens, you can have your movies included and be eligible to come talk about your favorite movies kind of more in depth. So yeah, it'd be cool. And then we're going to get back to our show recast. It's been a little bit of a hiatus, but I'm hoping to get to it maybe 2-3 weeks or so. We're going to be recasting Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And I do plan to do that show on a monthly basis, just do one a month because we got a lot going on the channel. So I decided to make it just a monthly show. And then and then we also have a Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/moviehero, you can see our extended schedule if you want to get first dibs on sign up for episodes and see the schedule that only Patreon members get to see. You can do it for just $1 over there for the lowest tier, and the money goes right back into our channel to help make an improvements, make it bigger and better, and we really appreciate all of that. And first dibs on signing up, and then we do exclusive podcasts. We got a couple podcasts in the works we want to try to do, which will be maybe things you can't show on YouTube, meaning copyrighted content like music and like we're going to do one that's based on like sketch comedy and like shows some of our favorite sketches, like that type of thing. So those will be over there. And then just what we have coming up for tournament fights and tier ranker. So we have me and Zach Shelton will be going head to head on Friday on our favorite TV show. So I'm looking forward to talking some TV. We're going to be doing more of that this year. And then we'll have our mystery tournament that I already mentioned. And then Austin will be doing his after the 128. So that's coming up. So if you've done a 128, you can do it. And after the 128, just to like shout out some movies that just missed your favorites of all time list. And then our next actor versus, it'll be Jack Black versus Ben Stiller. We got that match coming up. And then for Austin's birthday at the end of the month, he'll be doing a mystery tournament. And it'll be a speed tournament with a little bit of a twist, which we're not revealing the twist until the episode. So just tune in for that. And then we have the best movies from 64 great directors. Me and Austin and Malcolm kind of hatched out that list, and it's a pretty interesting list to just have one from each director. So, and then for Jacob Barber's birthday, both him and Malcolm Lay have some things planned for their birthday because they share the same birthday. So Jacob's going to be doing 64 of his favorite music or his favorite albums from 64 of his favorite artists. So to kind of combine the best of both worlds to do some music stuff. He's a big music guy. And then Malcolm will be doing something that's New Zealand related. And he promises that we're going to see, or we're going to actually be able to recognize more than we did last year. Because last year we were like scratching our heads on like some of the things he had on his list. But and then we will be doing, let's see, our Geek Series will be the championship will be happening mid-April, so about April 15th is actually specifically when it starts. So there'll be a 3-part series that week. And then for my birthday, I'll be doing a mystery tier ranker. So if you want to know how that works, just go back last year to the end of April 2023, and you can see the mystery tier ranker that I do. Really, how I do it is I just I have a website that I use called Flickchart. I just randomize the Flickchart and whatever the first, like probably like, I don't know, like 50 movies to pop up will just go in a mystery tier ranker. So it's all randomized. And then after that, we'll be doing Zach Shelton's top 64. So that's on the books. And then Austin and Jacob Barber will be doing their favorite actors battle, so they'll be going head to head in that. And I'll just throw in one more bonus one. We got best alternate / foreign movie title, so that'll be a pretty easy one. It's just all the weirdo titles that you hear that are like in other countries that they call the movie something different. Like in Australia, they call it the Mighty Ducks, they call it Champions, or they just call it whatever. Just like these random movie titles. So we voting based on that. So yeah, that's kind of like a little extended look on what we have coming up. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, guys. So thanks a lot for jumping on this one tonight. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that championship. It's going to be like insanely difficult. So yeah, and it'll be fun though. So, and I'll try to have most of you back for at least one of the episodes, because I think it's fun to have this people who have been along for the ride for this thing. So yeah, but that'll do it. So for Richard Schwartz, for Zach Shelton, for Stephen Shepard, for Austin Pez Howell, I've been Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we'll see you next time.
Call me Marty.
First things first, I'ma say all the words. Tired of the way that things have been. The way that things have been.
My name is Darth Vader.
Second off, you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the same.
We're sending you back to the future.
The master of my CEO. I was broken from a young age, took my soul into the motion. Out of my poems for the few that look at me, took me.
Calvin Klein.
From heartache, from the pain.